Start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions.
Your show is scheduled to start in 25 seconds. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Wow. Okay. All right. All right. Hold on, guys. Let me make sure this is good. Make sure this is a go. Okay. How you doing? I'm just going to take that as you're doing okay. My name is Tim Black. This is the Tim Black Show. It's Tuesday, the 27th? 26th? And you're welcome to the Tim Black Show. Tim Black Tuesdays consist of phone calls. I just opened up the phone lines. Phone lines numbers here, 319-527-6212. Call up, get in the queue if you got a comment you'd like to make about anything political or, basically anything. We don't screen calls here. For better or worse. I'd like to now go check the sound check because couldn't do it earlier. So let's go real quick. Facebook people, let me holler at you real quick, Facebook. How you doing, Facebook? What's going on, Facebook? Nicholas, what's up, Nick and Lana? Bibby Bowman, hi, can you hear me, Don? Hi, Johnsons. Rose, can you hear me? Hi, Carrie. Hey, David, what's up, Susan? Vanessa's in the house. Jasmine's in the house. Dolores Pierce is in the house. Bibby. Hey, Bibby, how you doing? Good to have you. Jane, can you hear me, Jane? I feel the burn coming. Joseph's in the house. Hey, Pack. Hey, Becky. Okay. Can you guys hear? Hey, Khadijah, what's up? Can you hear me, Khadijah? Sally from rural Minnesota. Amy Dazak, how you doing? Thank you, Khadijah. Nathaniel, can you hear me? Looking sharp, thank you. Do you have any live links to give Tim? They're going to shut them down. Tim in the house. Yes, I am. Finally caught a live stream. Hey, Jasmine. Hey. Anybody can hear me? Okay. Irma, what's up, Irma? David C. Maggie Cobbler, how you doing? Good to have you. Deshaun, what's up? Rose, Scott, OG. Always respect the OGs. Now, YouTube people, we got YouTube love. Hey, Mary, how you doing? Thank you for the wrench. Scott, Father Possum, Tatiana, Idana, Calico Jack, Alexis and Nikki, Rahul. They hear us. What's up? Big Rush, thank you. Tinalulu, Mac, Maryland, Gary Webb, David Melford. What's up, David? How you doing, man? Viking Tees. Brian Crosby, thank you, Brian, for the links. Corpse Obscure. All right, guys, so good, guys. You folks are getting in the queue. What's up, Johnsons? My Johnsons. This thing is spinning. Did it just stutter on you guys? What's going on here? It looks like this thing is acting stupid, man. All right, guys, I got a couple stories. We got phone lines. We're going to go to phone lines, but first we got to do the opening. The opening is me commenting on some news events. Yeah, we're going to talk about these news events. Okay, so you guys are getting in the queue. George Floyd, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minneapolis, Minnesota is the scene of the next, or the latest, I should say, well, hell, guys, this is America. So this happened yesterday evening. So for all I know, there's been 3, 5, 10, I don't know, more murders or state-sanctioned executions of U.S. citizens. So I really can't say this is the latest. It's the latest that I'm reporting on. In Minnesota, a man was killed by a police officer slowly, painfully, in broad daylight with cameras in his face. I got a feeling they're going to shut down this footage. They're gonna shut down my live stream if I play the footage. Oh man, wow! Because I want to share the footage, but I don't want to share the footage because it is very graphic. You know, just for anybody who hasn't seen it, this is very disturbing, guys. I'm going to show 20 seconds, 30 seconds to give some call of reference. Very quickly, you will ascertain what's there to ascertain about this situation, and then I'll come back and then we'll talk about that, okay? And I'll give you updates on the story. Wolfpack.
Look how they doing people out here. Got him bleed on the ground. He crying and shit. Oh, that's sick.
Please. Please. Please, I can't breathe. Please, man. Please, somebody help me.
Okay. I had my mic on the whole time, didn't I? I don't know if you can hear that correctly. Okay, one more time without the echo effect. It's important that you understand the context of this.
My face, man.
Look how they doing people out here. Got him bleed on the ground. He crying and shit. Oh, that's sick.
Please. Please. Please, I can't breathe. Please, man. Please, somebody help me.
Okay. All right, I think that was about 30 seconds of very difficult footage to watch if you are a person who happens to value human life more than this officer did. That is what you were just seeing is Mr. George Floyd, who's 42, 47. You know, Mr. Floyd, someone called the police on Mr. Floyd saying that there was a forgery or something. I think that's what the call was. Mr. Floyd, I think the officer said he appeared to be inebriated or high or something. So they dragged him out the car. They had a little rough time getting him cuffed. But as you can see, he was cuffed at this point. So he was cuffed, and a police officer proceeded to apply pressure to his neck for at least 11 minutes, because the video I have is 11 minutes of continuous pressure to a man's neck while he begged for his life, while an officer ignored the pleas, the other officer ignored the pleas. So we got an officer ignoring the pleas while putting more pressure on his neck, pushing his thigh to extend the most pressure he could to this man's neck as he begged and cried, urinated on himself, said he was dying, said he couldn't breathe, said he was dying, called for his mother. A grown 40-something-year-old man calling for his mother. The officer didn't believe him. He thought, well, you know, us Negroes, as Alonzo Bowden would say, are superhuman. When we cry, we don't really mean it, because we can take all types of pain. And, you know, even a handcuffed black man is very dangerous, because even though he's handcuffed, he's very, very dangerous, even though none of the officers sustained any injury in apprehending him. Not a cut, not stitches, not a pulled hammy. But they still felt it was necessary to cut off the air supply of Mr. Floyd. So they kept this pressure on Mr. Floyd's neck with no intervention from any other officer there. The other officer, Mr. Tao, stood by as the officer who applied the pressure. DeCaris, I think his name is. We've got the name. We'll pull the name up of the officer. This wasn't readily available. It's something that kind of came in a little bit later about the name of the officer. Well, but the tweet's been deleted. Anyway. Bottom line is that Mr. Floyd, even when he became unconscious and was no longer moving, as people watched this whole thing, they pleaded with the officers to let go of this man, to Stop killing this man in front of them. This man is dying. You are literally killing a person. He's a human being. Mr. Floyd, finally when the paramedics came, they put what appears to me a lifeless body on a gurney, took him to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. According to Minneapolis Fox 9, the man died at the hospital after he was detained. I don't believe that. I think that man was dead there. I think he had a very faint pulse, if any pulse at all, by the time they put him in that ambulance. There was no remorse. There was no danger. There was my friends, this is a lynching. That's what this was. That's what we saw, was a lynching by officers on an unarmed man who was already handcuffed and not resisting. They slowly squeezed the life out of his body in front of the whole world with multiple people with cameras. And I want you to know, the people with cameras, all types of people. I heard Latinos, white people, white ladies walking up, filming and trying to intervene, black guys the whole neighborhood, store owners, Indian guy, Asian guys coming out of their buildings. Everyone came out asking these officers to stop. This man is no threat to you. You are killing him. He's begging for his life. But as I stated, to these officers, we are not human beings. Mr. Floyd is dead today. And riots and unrest, protest are going on right now in Minneapolis because people are fed up. They're fed up. And you know what? I know you're fed up, but you know what? I don't want to hear any apologies from anyone. Police chief did fire all the cops this time. All 4 cops were fired. The ones that stood by and did nothing, and the one who killed Mr. Floyd. But to me, all of them killed Mr. Floyd. If your job is to serve and protect, and you do not serve and protect, in fact, you cause harm, you kill a man. Not a man running, not a man pulling a gun on you and you got to freak out and you're afraid, but a man that you already have subdued and handcuffed, stretched out on his stomach with his hands behind his back. Folks, if you do that, you are a murderer. We don't want to hear apologies. We want more than terminations. We want incarcerations for all of these officers. Now, everyone, what I do like about this so far is that the mayor and the governor both have thrown the officers under the bus. This is rare. And usually they try to stick out a little longer. Somebody must not be up for re-election like Rahm Emanuel was back in Chicago with Laquan McDonald. So evidently, no one's running, no one's job is on the line above these petty officers. Or they wouldn't be going so nicely along with getting rid of these officers. I'm trying to tell you, I've been covering this stuff for 5-6 years now. 6 years for police brutality. And then they came out. Folks, all of the usual suspects with all of the same old tired rhetoric we don't want to hear about how, oh my God, we're tired of seeing this. It's so sad. You know, our public officials, Joe Biden, who cares what he said? Whatever he said is insert name, usual, we need to do better, life is precious, unleash the Kraken on bad people, love everyone, there's no room for, the same old bullshit they always say. And then nothing happens. There'll be an investigation, and the point is this. When will leaders demand action or pull votes, pull support? A real president, which Trump is not, I don't even know if Trump even commented on this. And if he did, so what? What's he doing about it? He could apply pressure on the states to revamp police forces. He uses the bully pulpit for all types of things that benefit him, such as telling old stories about Joe Scarborough. Has no problem doing that. That's why the dump Trump button must be worn. You cannot talk about these issues without addressing who's in power and who's trying to get power, and how none of these entities are effectively trying to change the situation. It's status quo to talk about how sad we are, but who is actually demanding for change? We tired of marching. We tired of protesting. I'm tired of telling people to march, protest, light a candle, put your fist up, wear a shirt. What we gonna do about it? That's the question. And if you gonna work for me as a public official and you cannot answer what you gonna do about it, you can't have my vote. Don't even ask for my vote. You should bite your tongue in half as you proceed to ask for a vote. Yes, the lack of humanity is disturbing when you watch this video. And if it bothers you to watch a video like that, I totally get it. It should bother you. You're human. Welcome to the party. Join the humanity club. Join the team that cares about people. Okay? Preserving life. This officer did not give two shits. I'm trying to tell you. When we show you stories like this, when I show you stories like this, I want you to, I do so to enlighten you to what's happening. This has always happened. It didn't just start happening because Trump got elected. This has been happening since 1822. This has been happening to us since forever. But now we got footage. And you see how worried the cop was about the footage. If you watch this whole film, this snuff film, you would have saw officers don't care if you film it. So we need to just get rid of the body cams because officers don't care if you film them. It's not deterring activity. If you're not going to prosecute these officers and put them behind bars where they belong, there's no reason to have body cameras because those body cameras do not deter actions. They do them anyway. This man killed George Floyd, broad daylight, in custody of police custody, slowly, painfully, and deliberately. If you choke someone for 10 minutes, you meant to kill them. You meant to choke them, so you meant to kill them. So like I stated, Senator, these public officials are coming out. I know that Keith Ellison, Attorney General there in Minnesota, he spoke out. He said something. Okay, great. Thank you, Keith Ellison. Amy Klobuchar, who I don't want to hear anything from. She said something. So if we're not going to hold these people accountable, if we're not going to hold our public officials accountable, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're just getting ourselves all wound up for nothing. I say we hold them accountable. And I'm trying to tell you guys, this is not new. This has always been taking place. Now we have footage and it's still taking place. So I don't want to hear anything from these candidates unless they're talking about doing something. And Joe Biden's comments about it, generic bullshit. Generic. He might as well have been talking about the weather. Okay? That's how generic his comments are. Because he doesn't really care. Trump, I haven't seen this comment, but he don't need to comment. He need to use that pen. He don't need to comment other than to get in the ass of the Minneapolis Police Department. That's what he needs to do. Has he done that, or has he been too busy talking about other stuff? I know what he's been doing. Playing media games. So both buttons are in effect for a reason. I saw footage of Mr. Floyd's younger brother crying about his brother being killed live on Facebook. senseless murder. The people that Mr. Floyd worked for at a bistro. He was security, and he did a lot of, they say he was a great guy. He was everything. He was a fantastic person. He did not deserve to die this way. No one deserves to die this way. Officers of the law do not have the right to kill you without trial. These are extrajudicial murders, killings, executions, no due process, deciding your fate, your life or death. That's what's happening. This is one of the worst examples I've seen. This is right up there with Eric Garner. This is right up there with Eric Garner. So, anyway, very well. So as I stated before, there's been some talk about it, people talking, discussing political figures, various political figures talking about it on Twitter. And most people talking about it was Joe Biden. Joe Biden also sat down for an interview with CNN's Dana Bash, where he talked about his comments to Charlamagne the God. These are very interesting comments. They got some new talking points about the you ain't black. If you don't vote for, if you're not voting for Biden, you're not black. That's what it was, right? If you're not voting for Joe Biden, you're black. If you can't decide, if you haven't decided who you're gonna vote for, Trump or Biden, you ain't black, or something like that. Something horrible statement that puts all black people in one bucket. Like, we ain't got to worry about you because we know what you're gonna do. If you black, you vote for us. You vote Democrat. This is horrible. Like I said, Joe Biden is a booster for Donald Trump. Joe Biden is the best energy inspirer of the MAGA hats, of the maggots. He's the one. He's great, man. He's great. I mean, he's a better supporter of Trump than Trump is with comments like this, because these comments piss people off. Don't listen to talking heads on TV. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to these corny talking heads who are paid by the system. Paid by the system to deny reality, to make you feel good. Because they keep denying that this was bad of Joe Biden, that this was horrible of Joe Biden. They keep denying it. They keep trying to sugarcoat it. Voter depression or voter lack of engagement, lack of excitement is a big problem for the Democrats. It's what stopped Hillary Clinton. And here goes Joe Biden doing the same thing. And we got talking heads, some white, some black, some Latino, some Asian, some Native American, I suppose, all of them carrying water for Joe Biden, trying to minimize the utter stupidity and the offensiveness of his comments and how they can come back to bite him, and also sabotage his run. But they, instead of admitting that he really screwed up and he really fucked himself, they want to act like it's no big deal. Well, here goes Joe Biden responding to those comments once again. Dana Bash, CNN. Check this out.
Or half of that, it's going to look like there's real growth. But you're still going to end up, as all the economists say, with an incredibly high unemployment rate and a lot of people in real trouble.
I want to ask you about the remark you made last week on the Breakfast Club. You said, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or for Trump, you ain't black.
Well,
now, you've since said that you shouldn't have been so cavalier. But during the same interview, you said the NAACP has endorsed me every time I've run, which isn't true. So my question for you is about what some supporters say they're worried about, which is that all of this could end up hurting the enthusiasm that you really need to win among black voters.
Well, first of all, it was a mistake, number one. And I was smiling when he asked me the question. I shouldn't have been such a wise guy with him. He was being a wise guy, and I responded kind. I shouldn't have done that. It was a mistake. I have never taken the African American community for granted. Never, never, never once. And I've had overwhelming support in my state and overwhelming support from the African American community in my whole career. But I have never taken it for granted. I work like the devil for it, and I have to earn it every single time. Nobody's vote should be taken for granted. That's what it conveyed, my response. And I've never done that. And if you notice, this all the time we were talking about in the primary. Well, Biden can't win because look what he did. He came in 99th or something in Iowa and New Hampshire. And I said, wait till we get to a representative state. I've had overwhelming support from the African American community my whole
They're
career.
going to be out there for you.
Well,
in the
no,
same
only
numbers
if I
or more?
earn it. I've got to make it clear why I think I deserve their look, why I deserve a look, and not just in comparison to him, but in comparison to anybody else running, anybody that would be running. And I've had. Look, the state you're sitting in here is over, it's the 8th largest black population in America. It's a percent of population. And I've gotten overwhelming support every time I run, but I've worked like hell because I work in the East Side. I work in all the things I care about. I work about the African American agenda, dealing with everything from making sure their houses are as valuable as the same white person's house in a white neighborhood. I'm making sure that we're working on education. I've been arguing for years that it's not fair. So I have to earn it.
You did make an effort to clean up that comment pretty quickly. It still got a lot of attention. President Trump says offensive things. He never apologizes for it. Is there a double standard here? And if so, is there a lesson for you in how to compete with him?
No, I'm never going to stoop to where he is. I'm not going to do what he does. He says so many outrageous things. And to usually divide, separate, the things he said about African Americans and women and across the board, Asians across the board, and he says so many of them that I was talking to a friend of mine today, a leader in the African American community, and I said, why is he going after Barack? He said, because it stirs up his base. Barack's a black man. I don't know what that's the reason, but all of a sudden Barack, most popular guy out there, and he's attacking Barack. What's that all about?
Well, I'm sure you've seen some Democrats have said, Mr. Vice President, stop apologizing. You're going to say dumb things. Don't apologize, because that's not the world we're living in.
Well, no, when
All right. Okay, so there's a lot here to unpack in the SmackDown that definitely needs to be responded to, that you won't hear responded to on this corny-ass cable media. Do me a favor, share this content. Share this right now. Let people know that you're watching this show, and because this is going to be a clinic on Joe Biden. First thing, when Joe Biden talks about all the support he gets from black folks in Delaware, first of all, he hasn't been a senator for almost a decade. Keep that in mind. So, that's not something. He's not a politician right now. He's a guy who wants to be a politician. You're not a politician unless you hold office. You got to be holding office. He's not holding office right now. Okay? The other thing, all this black support that Joe Biden talks about having, let me tell you how Joe Biden got black support in Delaware. I live in Maryland. I'm from D.C. Let me explain this to you. Joe Biden outspent his competition like 4-1. To win in electoral politics is mostly about how much money you spent. If you have more money to spend, typically you win. That's like 85, 90% of the time. Joe Biden's hands are like cups. His hands has always been open to Big Pharma, the insurance companies, and Wall Street and the banks. He's always been able to raise as much money as humanly possible for his races. That's something he even bragged about back when he was a young congressman. He talked about, I did my best to sell my soul. I sold as much as my soul to these interest groups. He just wished he had more soul to sell so he could raise more money so he could be less breakable or unbreakable when it comes to elections. The other thing that Joe Biden has been very masterful in doing is paying off black people. Sort of like Michael Bloomberg. Paying them off with jobs, paying them off with favors, paying off by donations, paying off in support, paying off by campaigning. It's called quid pro quo. He's been doing, you do something for me, I do something for you. You do something for me, I do something for you. That's something Joe Biden is a master at doing. Okay? And once you get those black leaders to support Joe Biden, then they go tell their flocks, they go tell the voters, hey, vote for Joe. And typically, most voters who are uninformed just vote for the guy's name that they recognize. It does not mean people love Joe Biden. It doesn't mean black people love Joe Biden. Just because he got votes in Delaware. Also, it should be also noted that Joe Biden never answered the question Charlamagne asked him, which was, why the hell should black people come out and vote for you? And don't mention Trump. He still hasn't mentioned that. He talks about his record. And when we bring up his record, he has no defense for it. Instead, he lies about being endorsed by the NAACP. Who never? Which Dana? Thank you, Dana. Dana did her job. Dana mentioned it. You didn't hear Joe Biden refute it, did he? Dana Bash mentioned that the NAACP doesn't endorse candidates. Joe Biden looked into the camera talking to Charlamagne and said, every time I've run, the NAACP has endorsed me. They don't endorse candidates, so that's a bold-faced lie. Dana Bash said it wasn't true, and Joe Biden skipped it and went on with his word salady talk. But still, Joe Biden never answered the question why people should support him. Look, people get apathetic. They're like, man, politics don't work for me. What's in it for us? Why should we support Joe Biden? And just telling him that he's better than Trump is not a reason. That doesn't work, and it doesn't move people. It doesn't excite people. It just doesn't. When you're part of the social economic group that's on the bottom of the bottom in the United States, maybe save for indigenous folks, Native Americans, I know we're both swimming in a pile of feces. That's what Native American folks and black folks are. That's our station in this country, okay? It's horrible where we sit. But when the average black family owns 1/10 of the wealth of the average white family, the average black family holds 1/10 of the wealth of the average white family. The average black family has 1/10 of the average wealth of the average white family. When you are in that condition as a people, you better be asking for some stuff. Damn shame anybody out there who doesn't understand that. When you are the lowest, see, if you were the lowest of the lowest of the low and you were asking for stuff, I'd understand. Who should be saying we need stuff? The people that's on the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. How do people not get that? My only concern and my only pushback is we should have been doing this from day one. We should have got behind a candidate, Bernie Sanders, the one whose policies were most helpful, way more helpful than Joe Biden, and maybe we could have helped him win. And then maybe, even if he didn't win, you still could have moved over to Biden. You still could do what you're doing now, but you should have got behind Bernie with the better policy to help change the condition of the people that you say matter, that I say matter, that we believe matter. But that's a story for another day. Okay? Then Dana Bash proceeded to lose all the credit that I gave her by pretending that there's a comparison between Donald Trump apologizing and Joe Biden apologizing. First of all, Trump never apologized to people he don't want votes from. He don't apologize, but how often does Trump offend the people that he wants to vote for him? He goes out of his way to cater to and hold up and promote the people he cares about that he know is going to determine his win or lose. Those voters, those core voters that Trump needs, he don't have to apologize to them. You know why? Because he's not dumb as Joe Biden to keep making gaffes and saying stupid shit and inciting them and pissing them off and frustrating them and offending them and marginalizing them. Trump's not that stupid. If he makes the jokers on the stump, everybody laughs. They're not mad. When Joe Biden talks, he's pissing off the core group of voters that he needs to vote for him. So he better apologize, Dana. How stupid are you? I mean, I'm surrounded by idiots. Who told you that was a good idea? Who told you that was a good talking point to mitigate this stupidity? Was it Roland Martin? Was it Joy Reid? What idiot told you that? Was it Bakari sellout sellers? What fool told you it was a good idea for Joe Biden for you to say, well, Trump makes mistakes. He don't apologize. He don't apologize because he don't make mistakes to the people that signed his meal ticket. Joe Biden does. Dummy. Big difference. Big difference. You apologize to the person who's paying the bills. You apologize to the person who can put you in office because you pissed them off. If you didn't say the stupid shit, you wouldn't have to apologize. Don't insult my intelligence. I wish one brain-dead person would fall for that talking point. He ain't Trump. All right. and what I thought was hilarious, this whole thing about Barack Obama. See, this is what I don't like and I detest it. And maybe just because, your brother Tim Black, he getting old. You know what I'm saying? I have little patience for fools, and I have really, my patience is so short on people who think I'm an idiot, who don't respect the intellect, Joe Biden with a straight face said he didn't know why Trump was attacking Barack. I mean, is this something y'all set up earlier off camera? Who called this alternate play? Yeah? Who called in the audible to pretend like you don't know that Trump goes after Barack because he's Barack? I mean, you got to go after the former president, but notice how he used this, like, why is he going after Barack? Oh, and my black friend, my black friend said it's because Barack's a black man, of course. What you think they would have said to Bernie if Bernie went after Barack? All of my people cursing and spitting about how Bernie should have attacked Barack or attacked Biden's tenure under Barack. Like that was, you see exactly what they're using against Trump. They're using against Bernie, he'd have been out of there. Well, he's still out of there, but But you see what they're trying to do? Do you really think that's going to be effective? Do you really think undecided voters give a damn what Trump tweets or says about Barack? They care about their pocketbook. They care about the pandemic. They care about going back to work. They care about the businesses opening back up. They care about things that matter to their bottom line, their lives. All right? There are a lot of us who care about other things as well, but I'm trying to tell you that's not the moving force. Is that a moving force if Donald Trump insulted Obama? Anybody who's pissed off about Obama and Trump by this point and who are upset about Trump's words about Obama, they already voted for Hillary. And you see where that got you. That's stupid. It's pointless. Who's running these campaigns? It's idiocy. You keep saying, don't dock Joe Biden. No one needs to. The guy's campaign is garbage. It's been garbage from day one. There's no his political skills are as dull as his feeble mind. This is laughable. This is idiocy. This is counterproductive. Jim Clyburn today went on the, I think it was MSNBC. He called in, what show was it? It was on some show. Oh, The View. Yeah, that garbage show, The View. We talked with Whoopi Goldberg, and he started off saying how he cringed. Whoopi says, well, we saw in a video of Biden where Charlemagne's the God, and everybody calm down. But what were your thoughts about it, Vice President Joe Biden, whatever? Oh, Clyburn, Heartburn, whatever your damn name is. And Clyburn, he started off saying how it made him cringe. It made him cringe when he heard Joe Biden say, you ain't black. But, Joe Biden's not perfect, and he supports him anyway. He doesn't care if Joe Biden offends every black person in his South Carolina. It's quid pro quo, man. It's part of the team, this big team that we ain't on. Like Carlin said, it's a big team, and we ain't in it. Okay? So he's going to play the game. He's going to continue to do that. But I'm telling you, it's not going to be effective. It's not going to help Joe Biden. So you need to stop worrying about the progressives that won't support Joe Biden and be more worried about inciting, getting people to come out and vote. I don't see how that's going to happen. Now, I know what the polls say. The polls say that Joe Biden's up on Trump. I feel you. I do feel you. It's a long way till November. And if they don't replace Joe Biden with Bernie or Oprah or Michelle or a box of bacon bits, then Trump's going to win. Now, and to this point, like we really have no, you say, Tim, why are you wearing both buttons? You don't support either one of these guys. No, I don't. I don't support either one of them. Did you realize what they're doing right now? They're complaining over who's more of an idiot. Do you see them arguing over a mask? over that's what they're talking about. They're not arguing over how the best way to help American people. Biden and Trump are going back and forth about a mask, about who should wear a mask, who shouldn't wear, if they wore a mask or didn't wear a mask. I mean, I'm just saying. Come on, guys.
It was a stark contrast on Memorial Day. President Trump without a mask. His November opponent, former Vice President Joe Biden, wearing one. The president then retweeted someone making fun of how Biden looked. Today, the president seemed confused as to when you're supposed to wear a mask.
Biden can wear a mask, but he was standing outside with his wife, perfect conditions, perfect weather. They're inside, they don't wear masks, and so I thought it was very unusual that he had one on.
The former vice president hit back this afternoon.
He's a fool, an absolute fool to talk that way. I mean, every leading doc in the world is saying we should wear a mask when you're in a crowd.
Meanwhile, President Trump continues his long-running feud with MSNBC host Joe Scarborough, tweeting 6 times about a debunked conspiracy theory that the former Republican congressman killed one of his young staff members, Lori Klasutis, in 2001.
It's a very suspicious thing, and I hope somebody gets to the bottom of it.
Whether it's the president or whether it's people following the president, it is unspeakably cruel.
Her husband Timothy sent a letter to Twitter asking them to delete the president's tweets. He wrote, "The President of the United States has taken something that does not belong to him, the memory of my dead wife." Political gain.
All right.
Apologize for his loss.
All right, long story short, I mean, we don't know the deal with Joe Scarborough, this thing about did he kill an intern. Donald Trump is the president of the United States, and he has money. And if he really wanted to get to the bottom of this theory, he would put an investigator, maybe he put 10 investigators on it and get to the bottom of it. Anyone who doesn't realize that Trump is just manipulating, he's been manipulating you all this time. I don't know where you've been. You need to go get your head examined. That's what you need to do, because this is obvious. Why is that? Why is he even talking about Joe Scarborough? Why? Makes no sense. All this stuff that's going on. He's talking about Joe Scarborough. And the story from 2001 or whatever. I digress. Back to this. I'm surprised how many people don't understand the mask thing. I get, I understand why Joe Biden called him a fool about the mask thing, but I also understand that there are a bunch of fools. There are a lot of fools out here. I mean, I was at the store and I saw, how many people do you know don't know how to put on a mask? I mean, we're 2 months into quarantine in Maryland. You know what I'm saying? And we still got people who don't even know that the bottom of the mask should be around your neck. They're talking with their mouth doing this, with the mask moving. They don't even put both the straps around their freaking heads, man. They don't understand it. Just walking through the giant grocery store with the mask on wrong. So we have people. They don't want to live, Johnson. They think it can't happen to them. It's not real unless they die. I mean, their last words will be, "I should have worn a mask." I know there's a lot of people who don't believe in it. I get that. The bottom line is these two very powerful people should not be arguing about the mask. This is what we have to look forward to. This is what we're going to have to deal with the next few months. It's them, like these two grown old-ass babies fighting and bickering like morons via media and social media. That's what we're going to have, Johnson. Two grown-ass geriatric babies taking shots at each other, subliminal and otherwise. Well, not so subliminal. Come on, let's keep it real. Ain't nothing subliminal about Trump. He go right at you. But that's what buckle up, Johnson. Buckle up. That's what's going to be. Old-ass babies. How you going to need Geritol and Similac? All right, so last story. Man, I don't know, man. Look, Karen needs to sit her ass down. Karen needs to sit down. Do you know what a Karen is? A Karen is not all white women. Okay, let's clear this up. There are people, and look, if you're going to be on the internet and you're going to get offended at something, at least know the thing you're offended about. Okay? At least know that. A Karen is an entitled white woman. It's not all white women. All white women aren't Karen. Okay? Okay? All right. You know, it's like that time, I don't know, there's comments people make about black guys. Certain black guys, what's the word? Leroy's or, I don't know, Jumbas. I don't know. This, like, people make up names where people name a name for entitled white women who do over-the-top bullshit. And they call that a Karen. And they don't know the person's name. They just call them a Karen. Okay, so that's just like an archetype for these types of people. Okay? All right. Well, the latest Karen story that I have is probably, like I said, this is America. We probably got several more that were made just since earlier today. It's this one in New York Central Park. I don't know if you saw this video, but it is hilarious. It is also very scary. Check out the footage on the latest Karen from New York.
Would you please stop? Sir, I'm asking you to stop.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to
And
me.
I'm taking a picture and calling the cops.
Please call the cops. Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, I'm in the Ramble, and there is a man, African-American, he has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog. There is an African-American man, I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog. And my... I'm sorry, I can't hear you either. I'm being threatened by a man in the Ramble. Please send the cops immediately. I'm in Central Park in the Ramble. I don't know.
Thank you.
All right, so the lady you just saw, her name is Amy Cooper. She was trending on Twitter on, I think it was Memorial Day, because you saw what happened there. She got scared of the blacks. She was scared of the blacks, but she wasn't really scared of the blacks. No, she wasn't. She just didn't like what the black man was doing, so she said he was trying to hurt her. And she proceeded to call 911. And the real kicker about this Miss Cooper's story, this Karen story, is that she was the one in the wrong. Not only did they call the cops when we're swimming or selling water or cooking out at the park or, just walking down the street or whatever, just breathing. Oh, the black person's breathing. Oh. Black man tying his shoes. Black man, he just pulled his keys out of his pocket to open the door of his car. Oh, my God. 911. I'm intimidated. But not only that, when they're the ones in the wrong. See, this was at a park where all dogs must be leashed. All dogs must be leashed. In this situation, actually, he was Barbecue Becky. But not actually, not really. So the man at the park, he's a bird watcher. This is what this guy is. He's a bird watcher, and he's notable bird watcher. And the dog is loose, and he told her to put her dog on a leash. The law, the rules for the park, and she got flustered because she don't like nobody telling her what to do. She's an entitled white woman who don't like being told what to do. So she did what she knew she could always do, which is call the police, and the police will come handle this black man. See, she expected this black man to be scared, pee himself, and run. but he didn't because he knows the law, and he's intelligent, and he's smart, he knows his rights, and he ain't had no weed on him. At least I don't think he did. Is it legal in New York? I don't even know if it's legal in New York. Anyway, no, they don't. This is a little bit. Okay. So anyway, so this is what happens, and what's dangerous about it, and this is what I believe, man. This is what you got to understand. We spend a lot of time in this country talking about bigoted white dudes. Bigoted white dudes with missing front teeth, names like Bubba and Cody or whatever, and who drive pickup trucks with, the flags and cry when Dukes of Hazzard got taken off and just wish for the good old. We always talk about them, about those people being so bigoted, but we often leave out the Karens. Did you hear how she amplified her voice because the operator wasn't showing the requisite amount of concern about her? But please come down. Please come down. I'm afraid. Because obviously the operator was like, what? What? Don't sound like nothing going on. And this is what's happened. This has happened throughout the history of this country. This is what they do. So I believe that I know it's been a lot of good old boys that killed a lot of black folks, didn't go to jail, but I think it's a lot of those murders were caused by Karens who called their husbands and said, he looked at me. He looked at you. What did he look at you for? He looked at me like he wanted, I don't want to touch her. And that was it. His last words was, she a lying Karen. Now, I'm not absolving white guys that kill black people because their wives pester them or their wives put on fake crocodile tears. But I believe it's a thing. And I believe it's always been a thing. And as I say it, in my soul, the soul of Ogun is channeling me. And I can feel my ancestors saying, you got that right. Hey, man, I wasn't with you on some of the other stuff, but you right about that, Tim Black. Yeah, you right. I just believe it's true. And just to show that Karen was over the top, that Karen was full of it, and this is something that she is not, see, she symbolizes something. This woman, Amy Cooper, this Karen, she symbolizes something. I want you to see the man that she was so afraid of. I want you to know, because I know, like, sometimes people had this thing in their head, and black people do it too, where we just think black people are so dangerous. We're so scary. Well, what these do to her that had her so upset? And they start picturing, like, Shannon Sharp with a black hat and a black hoodie on, and black jeans with some Timberlands. That's what they start picturing, right? That's what, because she was afraid of what, the big scary Negro. Here goes the guy who was in the park who asked her to leash her dog.
Would you please stop?
Things that make birding absolutely spectacular. Number 7 is probably the best one, what I call the unicorn effect. You hear about birds or you see them in the book, you're like, oh wow, that's an amazing bird. I'd love to see that someday. And then one day you're walking through the woods or things that make birding absolutely spectacular. Number 7 is probably the best one, what I call the unicorn effect. You hear about birds or you see them in the book, you're like, oh wow, that's an amazing bird. I'd love to see that someday. And then one day you're walking through the woods or through a swamp or whatever, and suddenly flap, 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 flap. Things that make birding absolutely.
Yeah. Tupac himself. Yeah. Dangerous bird watcher, Mr. Christian there. The 57-year-old, whatever, I don't know how old he is. Bird watching enthusiast for the Harvard grad. The guy with the Alumni Association. Just doesn't want to step in dog feces while he's trying to get a once-in-a-lifetime picture of a pheasant or iridescent iridescent something squab. Just that moment, and then your dumb dog runs over. It scares the damn bird that he's been tracking for 10 years of his life, maybe, to get the perfect picture. Yeah, that's who she's afraid of. That's who she's. I'm alive, and he's scaring me and my dog. He's done it. So anyway, don't be a Karen. That's all. Just don't do it. All right, guys. Phone lines are 319-527-6212. Time to go to phone lines. Get some calls in here. Give me a second to regroup. Get the phone lines plugged back up. And we'll be back in 30 seconds. Peace. My guest today, Dr. Cornel West. Thank you, Mr. West, for being here.
My brother, I'm just so blessed to be in conversation with you. I want to salute you. You are a force for good in a mighty way, my brother. You remind me of William Monroe Trotter, that great black radical, cutting against the grain, telling the truth, seeking justice, willing to get in trouble, be in the middle of controversy, but always grounded in quest for truth and justice, man. So I salute you, man.
Thank you, Dr. West. All right. We're going live. Okay, my first call is a 678 number. 678, you're live on TB Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your call?
How you doing? My name is Eric Butts. I'm from Georgia. Well, originally from New Jersey.
Sounds good, Eric. What's up? What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah, I was just wanted to hit you with, do you remember back in July of 2017 when Trump made that speech in front of all the police talking about, hey, don't be nice to them. If you got to bump their head, be rough with them.
Don't be so nice. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, don't be so nice. He was like, he told them, and don't you think he should be held somewhat accountable for what's going on as far as the police brutality is? He's the one that gave them the go-ahead.
Yeah, but they've been going ahead way before that, brother.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I know, I've been a victim of it myself, you know what I mean? But I'm saying he needs to be held accountable. He's the one that gave them the go-ahead to act the way they act. He empowered people. He got that dude, the one officer, I think his name is David Chauvin or something, that he was one of the guys, one of the officers involved in the murder of Mr. Floyd. This guy is sitting around with a MAGA hat on, you know what I mean? He's a supporter. They got pictures of him at Trump rallies, his Facebook all over the place. He's following what his leader tell him to do.
Huh, that's interesting way to put it.
I think he should be held somewhat responsible. He's bringing this wave of ignorance and arrogance of these, I don't want to say white people, because there's a couple black ones out there too, hashtag Candace Owen, But I think some of these people need to be held accountable for it. And his administration should definitely be one of them.
Well, look, Eric, man, I appreciate the phone call, man. We might need to have that conversation. And that's an interesting point. And I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm in no way defending that shit. Like what Trump has done is he's weaponized this to his benefit. Right? Like, I believe that Trump uses race, uses violence, uses whatever he can. Sexism, with anything. Anything he can use. He's unapologetic. He's unabashed. He doesn't care what you think about him. He'll use anything. I don't have time to decipher if that's make him really a sexist or a bigot or whatever you want to call it. We can have those conversations, but at the end of the day, he's using it. So he gets the label. People don't want to give him the label because they want a team to root for. I don't care. I'm not into teams. But on this issue, bro, I gotta disagree. You really think the cop that just killed George Floyd would have not done it if it wasn't for Trump? You know better. I understand you want to hold Trump accountable because he fans the flames of racism. He fans the flames of police brutality with his rhetoric. But that scumbag, I bet you, we start digging into his record. He's been that way for a long time. He's been doing things on duty and off duty that he should have been locked up for a long time. But he's been getting away with it. Has Trump incited them to probably be more flagrant? Probably so. But I can't imagine a murderous cop. I mean, he murdered that man. I can't imagine if he's been a police officer under Obama, he may have even been worse, Johnson. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He may even be worse under Obama for obvious reasons. But thank you for the phone call, Eric. I appreciate you, man. I really do. 419. You're live, TV Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's going on, Uncle Tim? This is Big Rush.
Hey, what's up, Russ? Talk to me, brother. What's happening?
Man, you know, it's one of them angry days. It's one of them angry days because you know, you see so many. So at some point, watching these black killings, something has to wake up in our mind as black people. And what I'm saying is this: it's time for us to get out here and learn these laws. It's time for us to get out here and get a hold of some guns to protect our families and our communities. We can't depend on anybody else at this point. Not a politician, not any other race. We got to depend on ourselves, and we have to defend our community. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have some allies and other, you know, in the white community, Latino, Asian, whatever. I'm not saying we don't have some, but we don't have enough to where we can depend on them. So we have to start depending on ourselves. We have to know these laws. So when you see something going down like that in the hood, you know your rights and what you can do. You know your rights and what you can do. Because I can guarantee you this: if the cops see 50 black men standing strong with guns out there on the front line, when something like that go down, the situation gonna go down a little differently because everybody want to go home. So at some point, we're going to have to get that mentality. Like I said, the politicians aren't trying to help us. The police, we know they're against us. So you can't keep depending on everybody else to save you. We got to get out of that fear. We got to get out here and make things happen on our own. And that's just the reality of it. That's how the Panthers was formed. All of that. What was going on back then is still going on today. Now, I'm not saying that it won't be some casualties behind this, but you have to be willing to stand up for your community at some point, because we cannot keep videotaping brothers and sisters get killed while we standing around with a fucking cell phone. That right there, that pisses me off. Yeah, it's good to have the footage, but what the hell is it doing? It's doing nothing. So we got to stand up and fight back. That's all. That's the only thing else we can do. And I've been going out here voter shaming every black person I know that support Joe Biden, because although Trump came out and told the cops back in 2017 to be rough with him, Biden wrote the goddamn bill to get us hurt. He continued that shit. He didn't start it, but he damn sure fanned the flames with his bill, along with Bill Clinton, the so-called fucking first black president. All that bullshit gotta go. We can't keep putting these politicians in like Joe Biden, thinking that they're gonna do something for us. I'm so sick of black people standing with these dumbass politicians that don't mean no good to us. We gotta fight for ourselves. Fuck voting right now. We gotta work on our community, and that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I can't go for anything else right now. Yes, I was a Stark Burning supporter, but he can't do nothing about this. He can't do nothing about this. Even if he could, he's still only one voice. We got to fight. We got to fight back. We got to know our rights, and we got to stand strong on what we know and defend our damn community right along with our household. That's all I got to say. I'm going to get off and hear what you got to say.
Man, I appreciate you, Russ, Big Russ, for calling in, man. I tell you, man, Big Russ, let me tell you this, man. I hesitated even covering this story. I don't want to cover him. I'm like you. I don't want to cover it. I don't want to cover it because what's it going to do? I don't want to. I don't want to just talk about dead black folks. You know what I'm saying? It's something I feel slimy, even even putting the content out. But I know, but like, if unless it's going to cause action. But then, Rush, I feel like I have an obligation because there are people all across the country, beyond the country, honestly, who want to know what's happening. They want to know what's going on. They want to know the world they're living in. They want to understand it. So, through my hesitation, man, I cover these stories. This is how I even got started in politics, because I wrongly at this point, I believe that the problems that we have, these problems that I see, they had to be rectified at the ballot box. They had to be rectified with legislation and with new laws. Now, some of it may be local laws, but all of it's not federal. So I was part right, part wrong. Politics is good, but it ain't everything, like you pointed out. It's also going to require mobilization. Movements push policy, not politicians, especially in our system of corrupt politicians and influence of the status quo, right? I mean, no one's even talking about actually making changes that caused the death of this man. They're just saying it shouldn't have happened. What's that going to do? So I feel you very much. I think that it's going to require more. I think maybe after the 60s, people got jobs, Joe. They got jobs, Johnson, and they got comfortable, and they thought we was good because people got jobs. We was never good. It's just some people got jobs. Some people got killed, and some people got jobs. And that's how they pacified it. Pacify the movement that needed to happen. But I'm going to go to the next call, man. Thank you. Thank you for calling up. I wish I had something better to say. I wish I had a better way to articulate it. But I'm with you. Protesting and marching, I get it. We gotta do something else. 317. You live, Freedom. 317, you live. What's your name? What's your comment?
My name is Don Sneed. What's your name?
Where are you from, Don?
I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Talk to me. What's on your mind, Don?
My mind is on how white guilt justifies everything.
Explain.
Explain what?
What you mean by white guilt?
Explain why.
White guilt. What do you mean?
Why
what do you mean?
this woman was confronted by a black man in a park and she had no reason to feel scared. My name is Don.
I heard your name,
I've
Don.
been watching you.
I heard.
I'm sorry, sir.
I understand that. You're saying that white guilt justifies everything. I don't understand what you mean. Explain it to me one more time.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, explain it one more time. Let me hear you.
White guilt justifies everything. If this had been a black woman in a park, I'm talking to two people right now. I just want to talk to you, Tim Black.
What two people are you talking to?
To you and Tim Black at this moment.
Man, what the fuck, man? What's wrong with people, man? What's wrong with people? I don't understand. It sounded like he was trying to say she should be afraid of the black man, broad daylight in the park, who told her to put a leash on her dog. He didn't say, I'm going to come take your cookies. Now we can't be outside, Don. Black man can't go to the park. Black man can't take pictures of the birdies at the public park. She didn't call the police because he was harassing her. She called the police because somebody told her to put a leash on her dog. Why did she go get in her car and go home? Why did she couldn't just follow the damn rules? Show me a video of a black woman calling the police because a white man said, put a leash on your dog. Now, she might cuss his ass out, but she ain't going to call the police and say he's trying to hurt her. And it's a little different, Don. In America. I don't know how long you've been in America. Maybe you got the Indiana by way of Switzerland. Okay? A little different. Historically, it's a little different when black women call the cops on white men than it is the other way around. Okay? It's a little different. So we can argue. We can't argue the point. What I'm saying to you is facts. Okay? I hate that these stories happen, but they happen. And the reason why I'm covering this one is because we got to do better. Don't be her. If you see a person with a she lost her job, by the way, Johnson. And the guy, he said he wished she didn't lose her job. He wished that she shouldn't lose everything because of this. And I agree with him. She should not lose everything. She made a bad decision. If someone is filming you, why not just clear it up? Why can't we have the film be you clearing it up? Going, oh man, look, it's a misunderstanding here. I'll put my dog on the leash and, we got no problem. Why you have to double and triple down and then make matters totally worse by calling the cops? He wasn't even calling the cops. She called the cops. She made this a story, not him. She made this a story by escalating and escalating and escalating. And he said to her, the threat to her was, you should put your dog on a leash or you're not going to like what I do. And what he was going to do was film her. But she, being afraid of black men, maybe she'd have done the same thing to you, Don. You like a white guy. Maybe. I don't think she would have. I don't think if she said, if you don't put your dog on the leash, you ain't going to like what I do. I don't think she would have thought you was going to do something to her. She'd have been like, what? What you going to do? This is my park. Black guy, she's like, oh my God, oh, he's going to kill me, and my dog is going to eat my dog, then he's going to eat me. Come on, man. The Harvard professor dude with the camera taking pictures of the birdies, minding his damn business, more respected than she is. You know how hard he had to work to be at Harvard and be more respected than her? She works at Templeton Financial. They fired her quickly. I'm going next call. But, man, don't call the show up here being a jackass, man. 574. You're live, TV Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yeah, this is for something calling out of Indianapolis. You handled that well. Hey, you got to expect some people to just be like left field with it and just stupid because, really, truth be told, what's going on, we're going to keep seeing these type things because what's going on is there has actually been a secret race war against us since since America been colonized. I don't know if people know this, but what it's going to take is for us to just, really, we got to do something about it. We can't keep waiting for somebody else to step in and intercede and all that other stuff. It's like what it is this going to keep happening until we make it where we feel it's important to stop this treating us like this. Because ain't nobody, if you notice, ain't nobody stepping up to really help us and save us in this. And yeah, that guy was from Harvard and everything, but at the end of the day, I feel like him. It's like, no matter how nice we are to them, no matter what, the end of the game is, the end of the day is, sometimes they'll call the police over there because they know the police are race soldiers. They on code with it. Again, as far as their hatred towards us, the people, that's why it's not so much she was escalating. They already know. Just call the police, and hopefully the police will see it as a threat and probably choke a brother or shoot a brother.
That's true. That's very true.
That's all.
Yeah. Hey, man, thank you for the phone call, brother. It's sad, but it's true. I wish I could say it was another way, but it's sort of like, okay, so like, I don't know. There are guys here who've dated women who like had friends who were thugs, or friends that would, So a woman like back in high school, that you date a girl and she got mad at you, she get her brothers to beat you up. You might not even did nothing to except stop dating her, started to date somebody else. I'm gonna get my brothers to beat you up. Then it start getting like, oh, my brothers will shoot you in the face. That's when you really in the hood. Then there's like, oh, they gonna ride on you. Like, this is real life. So some of what we see here is similar to what we saw little kids do. Like people in the hood with that mentality would do. She's doing the same thing, but she's a grown-ass woman using law enforcement like it's her brothers. Now, when I make these type of comments, when I do these analogies, I'm not talking about everybody. That pisses some people off because they want to make it. They want it to be real simple. Life's not simple, and I get it. I was telling my wife earlier that I said, you know what? I said, I'm in a very unique position because I have diverse audiences. I met good people from Salt Lake City, Utah, from Portland, Oregon, right? From all over this country and outside this country. White, Latino, Black, Native American, Asian, all types of people. Most people don't meet as many people as I do. Don't talk to as many people as I do. So their view of the world is kind of smaller, and they keep running into Karens. But see, I know that there's a difference. That there are individuals, and there are people that are good people, and there are people that are, you know what I'm saying? So like, when I say it, people think that's a cop-out because they ran into so many Karens. They're like, it must be like finding a pink elephant. Because every time I run into, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like, so it's unfortunate, right? That we don't know more about each other, that we don't meet good people, bad people of every stripe, every color, and then we get it. And people take it like we talk about everybody. I'm not talking about everybody, but I'm talking about way too many bodies. And I'm talking about way too many cop deaths. I'm talking about way too much corrupt politicians. Every politician's not corrupt, but there's way too many corrupt politicians. And there's way too many corrupt cops. So that analogy works everywhere. If you get beat by your if a car salesman beat you out your money, be like, I hate car salesmen. Whoever sold you that lemon, you hate them. But it ain't every car salesman. When I sold cars, I got paid on customer service. I didn't even really make no money on the car. If you wasn't happy later, they check back with you for 3, 4, 5 months. If you wasn't happy when they called and you didn't say, Tim kept following up, I didn't get a bonus. So where I worked as a car salesman, it was advantageous to treat you like a freaking star and give you free floor mats. But we paint with that broad brush. And, that's what we do. Because we don't got time to, meet everybody. So it's unfortunate. But back to your point, I agree. I don't know all the answers, Joe. Hey, I wish I had all the answers. I know one thing. I'm not going to deny truth. I'm not going to deny it. And just because it's uncomfortable or it makes people feel bad, this is not a reason to address it. Hell, man, we killed 1 million Iraqis, but you had no problem addressing that. That's a bummer too, Johnson. Julian Assange is in jail, probably starving to death. You have no problems talking about that. Well, you know what? I'm going to talk about black people getting shot in the street, even if it makes you uncomfortable, just like you want me to talk about Julian Assange or Iraqis being slaughtered or people starving in Yemen. Just admit you got a problem talking about race. It's not that it's not important. It's just that you don't feel comfortable. Well, you need to get comfortable. Because if you don't get the black vote, you'll never win nothing. Nada. Zero. You have a bunch of Trumps for the rest of eternity. So you need to listen to black issues. They need to become important, or you need to just decide to be a Trump supporter for the rest of your life. And Trump, just next after Trump wins again, then his son could run, and then they could go vote him in, and then the daughter, and they could just run the table. Because if you don't get the black vote, then there'll never be another Democratic president. Period. And I'm tired of trying to be nice about it and pull people over. They don't want to listen. They could just lose. Lose. We need new parties anyway. Shit. We need a green party, purple party, yellow party. We need more parties anyway. Fine. Burn it down. Burn it down. You don't want to listen? Die. Die. Buy gift horse. Buy free money. Yeah. Buy. All of y'all. And you're part of the problem if you ain't addressing these issues. See what I'm saying? Because you're going to have to. Latinos not going for it. They ain't going to vote Democrat just because you said something nice. They want stuff. They want their green cards right, and they want others. They want their citizenship right, and they want their kids not to be detained. The stuff they want. Let's see if you call them unreasonable for wanting it. Because if you don't get the Latino vote, a good portion of the Latino vote, a good portion of the black vote, you never have anybody in the Democratic Party ever be elected president again. Well, you ain't got to listen to me. My mama said a hard head make a soft behind. Keep it up. All right. 360.
And this is not a reason to address it. Hell, man, we killed 1 million Iraqis. But you had no problem addressing that. That's a bummer too, Johnson.
360. 360, you live.
You have no problem.
I hear you watching the show.
Well, you know what? I'm going to talk about
I bet you this
black
person
people get...
is on the phone watching the show. But, I was on one. Maybe they got distracted. We'll try to come back. You know what I mean? 614. 614. How you doing, Alvin?
Hey, brother. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. What's going on, Alvin?
Man, honestly, I don't know. I just could not bring myself to watch the video. I said, no, I can't watch this, not again. Well, honestly, I'm just lost for words. And the sad thing is that they'll start bringing up these games and what he was doing, blah, blah, blah. Who cares what he was doing? 11 minutes, and that's when they started filming. For God's sake. When is this going to stop? I had so many things that I wanted to talk about, but this whole thing just messed me up, Tim. All I can say is that I pray for his family. And someone was saying that we should blame only Trump. This thing that's been happening since the 18th century or 17th century, why are we going to blame Trump alone? Everyone is complicit in this. All these laws that they brought up for no reason, and they need, honestly, I just don't know what to say, honestly. I'm just lost for it. And it's more prevalent in America, but as you know, it happens everywhere else. It happens in the UK, it happens in Germany, it even happens here in Australia. But of course, not to America is on its own level. On its own level, because when you have that bias as in black people are superhuman, we are animals, that we need to be hunted, and that even if we are handcuffed, we'll somehow have superhuman strength. That's a dangerous thing, honestly. As Hughley said, the most dangerous place for a black man is it's in the mind of a white person, honestly. Honestly, Tim Black, that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you, Alvin. I appreciate you. That was a great quote from DL right there, man. DL, he was right. He was right about that. Okay, some of his Hillary stuff, I was like, ugh, oh God, Hillary Clinton. Oh. But he's right about that. The lady in the park, the Harvard business guy, the guy with the taking pictures of the birdies, in her imagination, he's a, gangbanger, is going to kill her. And sell her dog, have her dog hooking on I don't know. I'm not from New York, man. It's happened in New York. All right. 720, did I miss 720? 720, you live.
Hi. Thanks for having me on your show. I just started watching you, and I really like your content.
Thanks, brother.
I work in healthcare. I work in nursing, and my perspective is this. Like, I've worked med-surg, and I've worked with, like, homeless people, mentally ill people, people that needed to be detoxed. Like, I've been in several situations where we had to restrain people. And I just don't understand it, like, why you would have to restrain somebody, like, and put your fucking knee on their neck. Like, it's a huge problem. But like, I've worked for 10 years and I haven't seen any healthcare worker, like, restrained. I've been hit. Like, I didn't get to carry a gun or a nightstick, and, like, I wonder if it's, like, the culture of law enforcement. I did get in a situation one time where somebody claimed that I assaulted them, and I got really harassed by a cop, and I knew I was innocent, and I was just amazed that he treated me that way. And when it was all said and done, I told him to his face, I said, "You're not a real good judge of character." I was pissed. And I mean, like, it shouldn't be rocket science. Like, there's no reason to, like, restrain somebody with your knee on their neck.
Yeah, I agree, brother. I do. I absolutely agree, man. Hey, look, I appreciate you calling into the show. Thank you for becoming a new watcher, man. And, yeah, like I said, like, there are things you do and things you don't do when you respect life. That's all. Respect life. And that, that's a good place to start. Yeah, care if people live. That should be duty number one. You're law enforcement. Don't kill people. And it doesn't matter what he was doing beforehand, because when we saw him, he had cuffs on. He was in police custody. The threat has been vastly minimized when a person is handcuffed and in your custody. Right? Isn't that what they tell us? So that's why all four of them got fired within 24 hours. But we want more than firing. Let's go to the next call. 619. Hey, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim Black. It's Jimmy Mack. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, Tim? Jimmy, how you doing, man?
Well, fam, it's another one of them days where it's tough to be a black male in American society, You wake up and it's like we getting attacked from all angles. You know what I mean? So, Tim, I want to do something a little different this time when I talk to you. Sometimes I kind of rush, but I kind of want to take my time and ask you a question. Like, family, based on the Amy Cooper situation, in your younger years before you was married and had kids, Tim, did you ever date a white woman?
No, not really. No.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you. I always talk about how I'm from San Diego 619, but I'm a Southern kid from rural Louisiana, Grambling State University. Anybody ever watched the Bayou Classic? Know about Doug Williams? You know what I'm saying? Anything about that? You know what I'm saying? HBCU. That's what pumps through my veins. I came out here to the West Coast because my mama got her PhD. When I was a freshman in high school, so I picked to leave the Midwest and come out to the West Coast. Now, when you're a black person and you go into a whole different section of society, a whole different, place in the country, it's a whole different type of, gymnastics that you have to go through to navigate in this white society. And though my father was a black history professor at Grambling State, my mother married a white man who happened to be a professor too. So I had my mom in an interracial relationship. So I kind of have a different perspective in terms of the dynamics of America. And you always talk about your show being a place where you want to bring everybody together. Well, I have one of these stories that not too many people in the country, especially black folks, have, living on every coast, having, living in the hood, living in the burbs, going to an all-black high school and, multicultural. So I've kind of seen it from the whole different gamut. But just to bring it back to the Amy Cooper thing, man, sometimes when you interracial date, and not so much say a person of color, but when you date a white woman, sometimes your greatest fear and what black women usually, tell to you is to be fearful of when Amy Cooper hit that second octave when she was calling the police.
Yeah.
That's the shit that you can't really defend. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's some other shit. That's the thing that got Emmett Till killed. You know what I'm saying? That's a thing that nobody really knows how to kind of confront. And you got dudes married, you got dudes who got kids, and they with these women, man, and the game is totally crazy. So, that's one end. And just to kind of wrap up, man, George Floyd, my sister lives in Minneapolis, St. Paul, 5 blocks from where they murdered that brother. You know what I'm saying? She got there about a year before they killed Philando Castile. The Minneapolis police is off the hinges. You know what I'm saying? But I'm one of those people where I think we should really exercise our Second Amendment rights. And I know the NRA, they may change rights and do shit like they did in the 70s and shit like that when the Black Panthers and everybody got, armed up. But I'm one of those people where if you're going to murder me, I would rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. I ain't never been arrested. I ain't never got in trouble with the police. My background is pristine. But they don't give a fuck when they see us. They'll murder me just like they'll murder, a black CEO or anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So I'm asking the question, Tim, and maybe you can answer it too. Where are our white allies? Do we have any? Do we really have any? I'm a student of Dick Gregory, and he talked about how John Brown would put his life on the line. You know what I mean? And we need people to step out there and really be for us, because the lip service, that ain't paying nothing. We don't see Asian dudes getting murked every day. We don't see Indian guys getting murked every day. We don't see Greek guys getting murked every day. And yeah, we know brown people get it bad, but we don't see Mexican dudes getting murdered every day. But black people and the violence that happens against them, that's something people get used to, man. And we tired of it. So that's what I had to say tonight. You know what I'm saying? Holla at your boys, Tim Black, the Wolfpack. I put a lot of people onto your show, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you, Tim, because I knew you was going to be in talking on Tuesday night. You didn't drop a video today, but you was going to be here live tonight, man. So I appreciate you, fam. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you, brother.
No doubt. Same to you, Jimmy, man. Thank you for calling up, man. Real talk, man. And I know exactly what you're saying about when they hit that other octave. I mean, I just want people to know that, like my white audience, man, just to know that that's a dangerous thing, man. It's a really dangerous thing. It's very dehumanizing, too. I remember, all right, so here goes one. I'll tell you real quick. I was working for this company, and I got this amazing performance appraisal. I mean, I did my thing. I got one of the highest performance appraisals that you could get, because they notoriously gave low performance appraisals, because performance appraisals are also determiners on how much you get paid in your bonus, right? What your raise will be if you get a raise. And my raise was whack. So I had a meeting with my manager, my direct manager, about it. She's a white lady. And I'm talking to her about it. It's just her and I in this big room there's attached to another big room, a hallway with a lot of people in it. It's not like really secluded, but we were in an office with a door, big office. And I'm sitting that far from her, and we're having this conversation. And she was giving me BS. She wasn't telling me. I'm like, look, I got this great performance appraisal, and then now you're giving me this BS bonus, this BS bump. It ain't even 3%, Johnson. What is this? This is the best. Like, this is a better performance appraisal than 90% of the company does. I got an award for it. And this is what I get. And the fact that I would not let her off the hook and kept saying, nah, that doesn't. But back to this bonus, she kept saying, well, this is going on and that's going on. And finally she said, well, Tim, I'm not feeling comfortable. I said, what? Well, you seem upset and I don't feel comfortable. It's like, oh, okay. All right. And it was like a no-win situation for me. So I get to not get the requisite bump that I felt I was entitled to. I can escalate it and be a troublemaker, right? And now you're going to hit me with I don't feel comfortable. Well, I can't lighten my, I ain't going to lighten my skin, and I'm who I am. I'm as big as I am. I can't change my height, my size. I can't. And this raises crap. But I can't even express that without I'm afraid card. I'm scared of you card. It doesn't even have to be real, Johnson. That's what that guy Don, who was probably trolling, didn't get. And a lot of people, but realistically, a lot of people don't get it. It doesn't have to be real. People can use it if they want to. It doesn't have to be real. They could just use it to control the situation. She controlled me by bringing up the fact, while reminding me that she white lady, I'm big black man, no one gonna believe me, and they're all gonna believe her that I am threatening and that I am somehow intimidating, no matter what happens. So anyway, I've been there, Jimmy. Let's hope I don't have to be there no time soon. I got other stories, but we're gonna go next call. 562. You live TB Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment? Yeah.
Hi, Tim and everyone. My name is Laura from the LBC, California.
What?
I've called, this is my second time calling, so I just want to say thanks for having me on.
Sure.
Being from Long Beach, our police department is notorious for this. And it's, one of the things I love about Long Beach so much is we have so many coalitions that fight back, but it's really tiring to see this over and over because, it's constantly, it's black, brown, and poor and indigenous people that are being attacked and that are being killed with impunity. And, I don't know if you know this, but earlier this month, the Supreme Court, came out and they upheld, this decision. And it's called qualified immunity. So this is a 50-year-old creation of the U.S. Supreme Court, and basically it's supposed to protect government employees from frivolous litigation. But in literally recent years, it's been used as a tool, in order to help these cop killers. And what's really hard is that we don't have politicians, to really help. Yeah, someone said earlier, they mentioned Bernie, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But, we need more people to get involved, period. We need major changes in the society. We live in Alice in Wonderland. We're down that rabbit hole right now. And it's really hard, and I feel people are fatigued. I know I am. I'm a community activist, and it's just so hard with so many issues. But but here's the thing, they're all interconnected. It's racial, it's about dividing people, divide and conquer, the number one rule of war. And, we need to come together as a community, not just black people, not just Latinos, not just indigenous, but as a community, because that's when things can get done. And, one of the things that hurt my heart is I worked tirelessly this time for Bernie Sanders. And I also have a news outlet, and I went to, when he was here in Lakewood, I covered him when he was there in Los Angeles, with Public Enemy. I mean, there was so many people. It was energizing. But the thing, he talked about all this stuff. And what upset me and so many people I know that worked so tirelessly is how a lot of African Americans could be lulled and fooled into voting for this fool, which has no intentions of doing anything, and it just really hurts my heart. And I want to know, like, how, as a Latina, as an activist, how I can help, other people see what's going on and not just say, yes, again, someone's been shot. But for my Black brothers and sisters and the African American community, what are your thoughts? What can we do to shake these people up, wake these people up, and get them away from the lull that the Democratic Party has had on them for a long time? And I know a lot of it is, people that are 50 and over that, voted for Biden, and 40 and 45 and under were for Bernie. So thank you for letting me go on my rant, but I really appreciate you having me, and good energy to you and everyone, listening to your show.
All right, well, I appreciate you calling up. It's not, first of all, I'm not the black whisperer, so I don't want to give anybody the impression. It's just amazing, and some black people do it because it might help their career, I guess. Like they know everything about black people. Yeah, it's all types of black people. Like it's all types of Latino people, all types of white people, Asian, Native American people. Everybody's different, right? So, my wife and I will vote for Bernie. Well, we did in absentee ballots in Maryland because that's the only way we could vote for him, and that was just due. That's just due. We just sent them in. But why people didn't? The biggest block of people don't vote. Instead of even having that conversation about why some black people or why more black people went with Biden instead of Bernie, let's have a conversation about why other black people that didn't vote chose not to vote. And we could have that conversation about everybody. They don't believe politicians, Johnson. They just don't. Then, and some people thought that Bernie, to them, would never get elected. There were a lot of black people that didn't support Barack Obama until they thought he could win. They wanted to be on the winning team, Johnson, which is counterproductive in some ways, but understandable when you're trying to get things done for your community. So it's like, and that's sort of like what I think Diddy, like some people sat back like, well, I ain't getting involved because we don't want to ride the wrong horse because they believe in loyalty. So if they roll with Bernie and then he lost, they can't go to Biden. Well, you let them work that out, and then we pick whoever who's left, and then we try to extract something from them then. So anyway, we got people that don't believe in politics, people that don't trust politicians, and people that think America is so jacked up, especially older people. They believe America is so jacked up that when you start talking about all these great things you could do, they just say, man, there's no way. There's no way they're going to let them do that. There are people that excuse, this is the point, they excuse Obama not doing more for the black community because they say, how are you going to get something done in this system? They really believe that. Now, I know and you know that Barack Obama had an executive pen in the House and the Senate for 2 years. But to them, that doesn't mean nothing because the system is so bad, it's so stacked against us that we're not going to get anything. So that's the reason why. Those are 3 reasons that I have that in my opinion, there may be people with different analysis, but in my opinion, those are the big 3. So thank you for calling up. I appreciate you. 949, you're live. TBT Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment? What's up?
Hey,
Tim.
Hey, this is B from Nevada, Las Vegas.
Hey, man, good to have you. What's going on?
Nothing much. Hey, just wanted to let you know, like pretty much everybody on this call, like I've been doing things on the side, like, I phone bank for Michaela for a little bit, a couple weeks.
Okay.
So, and like based on what I've seen, thanks for showing the Christian, like the Christian Cooper, like what he looks like and everything like that. I was like, whoa, he looks like the most non-threatening person I've ever seen. It's crazy, but yeah, I was very surprised. But thanks for showing that. It's just, and I don't know, like it was horrible. Like how the police treated that person was just ridiculous, and then how she treated that dog was horrible too.
Yeah, that was another thing. Yeah.
That was horrible. Yeah, it was just not good. Yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know on here, there are certain things that you can do. I know over here in Nevada, we had like the ballot, like for like, since we have the ballot and everything, you can actually go ahead and choose the right judges that are there. That will definitely help in the criminal justice area. And at least over here in Nevada, like there are certain ones that get, that get endorsed by the independent black voters. So, because they're more fair. So that's one thing that you can definitely do is try to look for the type of judges on the ballot that are actually, toward, of course they can't just make a decision, but you can at least know that they'll be more fair, because fair judgment is very, very critical right now. So I think that's one thing we can definitely do is to make sure that we look at the ballot. I mean, especially now that it's all mail-in, that's even better. So now you can actually do your research, and when you can do your research, you can actually make the right decision that is good for your community, like just overall, So I think that's one thing that we need to take advantage of with this. And another thing, I actually made, I started doing my own little YouTube thing. So I think I sent it to you on your email. It's called Common Sense Independent.
Okay. Good. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I just started. I mean, I only do it on the side. So no. It's more like I wanted to send it to my mentor on this. So So yeah, just tell me what you think. Let me know what you think if it looks good and everything like that. I really want to know. I just want to see what your guidance is on it. I'm more like a comedian type person, a little bit. Maybe not on the phone, but whenever I schedule things out, I get a little funny. But you tell me what you think, okay?
Well, look, man, thank you for calling up, and good luck with that. And if I get a chance, man, I will check out your YouTube, man. So hey, put out content, man. Anybody, man, put out the content. That's all I can say. You never know. And look, and don't restrict it to YouTube, okay? Put content on Facebook, too. When I say put on Facebook, don't just put the links. Upload the video to Facebook. Seriously. I've had, like, a lot of viral success lately on Facebook, not YouTube. YouTube, I could barely get 10,000 views on YouTube. I got, like, right now I got a video at 400,000 that I put on YouTube. On YouTube, it got 3,000. Well, it got, 15,000 on YouTube. But on Facebook, it got almost 400,000. Same exact video. So don't just put it on YouTube. Okay? There's people that look at your numbers on YouTube and they judge you. You could be great. You could be fantastic. But if YouTube's algorithm is not sharing your stuff, there's nothing you can do. Unless your people share it, and if you don't have a whole lot of people to share it, what can you do? Unless you go on a lot of other channels, bigger channels, like some people get a chance to do that, that really helps them a whole lot. But if you're not a part of that clique, if you don't fit that clique or whatever, then you don't get those opportunities. And so real quick, guys, anybody interested in doing media, use all platforms. Even use Instagram too, because you never know which platform is going to show you the love and when they're going to show it. And you don't have to be exclusively putting content in one place. Put it in multiple places. All right, so that's it. I wish I'd have known that in the beginning because I just kept putting links on Facebook. Links. Facebook don't like links. Facebook wants you to create a Facebook account and upload your video, just like you do on YouTube. Not a link, actual upload. All right. 252, you live on TV Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. This is Kira from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
There
How y'all
she
doing,
is.
Wolfpack? How you doing, Brother Tim?
What's going on, sis? How are you?
I am wonderful. This video, when I first woke up this morning, it was the first thing that I saw. It was the first thing that was blowing up my damn notifications. And I watched it because I didn't know what it was. A lot of people hadn't reported on it or anything like that. And I want to talk about that video, but I want to talk about the situation with Amy Coulter or Cooper. I'm not sure what her last name is. I want to talk about that situation first and how I think you're wrong. I love you to death, but I think you're wrong when you say that this lady don't need to lose her job. And the reason why I think you're wrong is because these people only respect two things, and that's money and power. And if they keep doing what they're doing, knowing that their privilege will put black lives at risk, and it keeps going unchecked, they deserve to lose things. This lady deserves to go to jail. It's not just that she needs to lose her job. She needs to go to jail, and maybe these other people out here that would dare to do such a thing will think twice about doing it.
I disagree.
I mean, let's talk about...
I disagree. Let's
You
have
disagree?
a conversation. I disagree.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
unless
I think that...
unless
Go
she
ahead.
did this before, like she's one person. She's only she hasn't, like, we don't know. She did lose her job, Kara. She's fired. And she lost her dog and her job. She lost everything. Okay. So now what's going to happen? You think some bigot or somebody somewhere else is not going to do something because she lost her job? I don't think that's how it works. I think she's one person. She made a big mistake. She's going to pay for it in a lot of ways. But now she's probably going to end up homeless and destitute over something she did one day. Now, if she has a track record of doing it, I feel different. But to do something one day and have your life destroyed, I don't think so. Now that's my. I didn't say that earlier, but that's why I said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, I feel like this, Tim. We all live in the age of social media. You think that these white people don't see that these white people are losing their jobs because they doing dumb shit like this? Like, this is why I feel like there's no excuse, because it's out there that if you do this and a chain reaction happens and this person's life is called into danger because you decided to call the police on this person, there should be consequences. And I feel like that's the age-old thing that has gone on. And we as black people have been so forgiving. But when we make one mistake, we are not forgiven. We do years in jail. Just like the situation with Brock Turner, where he raped, because it was rape what he did to that girl. He raped that unconscious girl. And then you got situations where black people have consensual sex and white women will use this card. And these people will lose their lives for years. They don't get a second chance. They don't get a slap on the wrist. They don't get to do 3 months of probation and go home and it never be on their record and they don't have to register as a sex offender. This is why I have the problem that I have with her, because we are living the age of information. This is the age that we live in. It's open. It's out there. If you call the police on black people, and just like you said with that caller, I think what that caller was trying to say, the one that got cut off earlier, he was trying to say if black women was to call the cops on a white man, it would not be the same. It would not be the same. I have seen in so many instances where I live in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's like a military town. You know how often black women walk down the street because Fayetteville is a majority black city, and they get catcalled and they feel unsafe. You think that if they was to call, even if it was a group of white men, if they was to call the police, these police will pull up, see that it's a group of white men, send their asses home and tell them to stop bothering you. And whether or not, and you continue to walk down the street, and whether or not these people put your safety into question after that is no longer any concern to the police. But let the situation be reversed. If black people go and get in groups, the police are coming. There's not no ifs, ands, and buts about it. The police are coming, and they're going to say that they got to dissociate or they can't be in that group. That is the reality of what it is, particularly in my state, North Carolina. It's in the South. They do not like groups of black people getting together in my area. And when they get together, the young ones in particular, when they go to Walmart, when they go and they be in a parking lot with their little girlfriends or whatever, they will come and they will break up these groups.
I thought we was talking about
from the same park.
I thought we was talking about Amy Cooper.
Go ahead.
I thought you were talking about Amy
No,
Cooper.
I'm saying in the instance of privilege, in the instance of white privilege, and how these effects have had chain reactions in different situations with black people. Like black people don't get the same privilege. That say that video showed a black woman. And that was a white man that did that. You think that they wouldn't hold her accountable in way worse ways
She got
than her
fired.
losing her job?
She got fired, Kara. She got fired. She
But
don't
that's
have a
not
job,
enough,
Kara. It ain't gonna show.
I don't care about that. I mean, I'm saying this from a real ass place. A real place. Racist people need to be held accountable when they do racist things. If you're going to stop the racism in America, there has to be consequences for the privilege. If the privilege don't never get consequences, they're going to keep doing it and keep putting black lives at risk, Tim.
All right, okay. Thank you, Kara. Thank you. All right, guys, look. All right. Let's calm down. Stop yelling. Let's calm down for a second. Okay, so we talking about Amy Cooper, one individual who did one thing. We can't make her about everything that happens. That's emotion, and it's not fair. Cops are bad, horrible, do things all the time. This is why I said I'm in a different position because I cover news. I don't just cover black news. Here goes a story you don't know about. It was a white kid, 3 years ago, at school who did a prank. He ran across the football field naked, like they do in the movies. He ran across the football field naked. Do you know what happened to that kid? He got locked up, charged as a sex offender, lost his college scholarship, and eventually committed suicide. Now, we all know that when he did it, he wasn't trying to molest anyone, but they still, because Dr. Cornell West. Thank you, Mr. West, for being here.
My brother, I'm just
Damn
so
it.
blessed to be in conversation with you. I want to salute you. You are a force for good in a mighty way.
Anyway, that wasn't cool. The point is, that shouldn't have happened to that man. I don't think that young man should have been charged as a sex offender. I don't think they should have ruined his life. They did. He was white. He was blind, blue-eyed, and they still did that shit to him. What I'm saying is I know it's not fair what people do. I understand that. But let's not act like we have a fair system. If he had money, he'd have been fine. If he had money, he would have been fine. This lady, Amy Cooper, has lost everything. I don't think that people, just because they do something jacked up once, should lose everything. It's not going. We can't hold police accountable. We can't get killer cops locked up and destroyed. We can't take all our anger and frustration out on individuals to that extent unless they have a track record. I'm a person that wouldn't call the cops. I remember living in apartments. I wouldn't call the cops on noise complaints. And I was around all black people, but I was afraid that a cop would come and hurt a black person. I wanted them to be quiet because I had to go to work. But I was more afraid that someone would do something to them when they came in the building and went to their door and smelled weed because they was young people. But I had to get up and go to work, so I really wanted them to listen. So, don't get me wrong, I get your point. I went above and beyond because I didn't want to see people get hurt. I want people to learn a lesson. I don't want their lives to be destroyed, Kara. The guys who killed Ahmaud Arbery, I want them...
90 seconds.
I want their lives destroyed. I want them in jail forever. The cop who just killed what is it? The cop that killed the cops that raided and killed Breonna Taylor. I want their lives destroyed forever. I want them in jail forever. This man, Floyd, George Floyd. I want that cop's life destroyed. But somebody using the N-word in front of Walmart, or somebody
60 seconds
doing random current shit, I don't want their life destroyed forever. That's me. Now you could yell and say all these other racist things that happen, and I know about Emmett Till, and I understand, but I don't think all white people are going to learn because we punish this white lady to the highest degree. We punish her more than we punish the cops than we punish George Zimmerman. She got it worse than George Zimmerman got it. Tell me how this shit's fair. How she get it worse than the cop, how Rahm Emanuel, who covered up the killing of Laquan McDonald, shot 15 times.
10 seconds.
How he get it better than, how she get it or worse treatment than he did? Shit ain't fair, man. And all I'm saying is, I don't want to take all that out on the least common denominator. I want the most powerful people who do the most egregious offenses to get the harshest comebacks. That's me. So I'd really rather not get in debates with callers, especially callers I like. But when you go on me, I got to go back because this is my show. So for the record, Amy Cooper's fired. I'm not shedding a tear. I'm not upset. I will sleep fine. But I don't think that solves the problem. It does not, to me, it does not solve the problem. It won't eradicate racism. That's not how people learn. People don't learn not to be afraid of black people by locking them up or taking their homes. Just become a member of the fucking Klan. I mean, if she hated black people before, she really hates them now. I'm just saying, what do we learn? What did she learn? Her life's destroyed, and there are people who do worse shit. She get treated worse than the guys who poisoned the kids in Flint. Them fuckers still got jobs and still walk around. So that's my thinking. Hey, that's how I see it. I'm not defending her. Never defended her. I don't like making it sound like I defended her or that I'm championing for her. I'm not. She lost her job. That's what happens. Hopefully things will work out for you. You won't be found off. You won't do anything to hurt yourself. But that's what people are doing, you know. I'll be Porter on this stuff, but I want you to know that some people, when the social media gets to them, these people kill themselves. It's not, I mean, that's what happens. And it may not matter, just, you know, but maybe it does. And maybe we should there could be something between lose everything and learn. It should be something between do nothing and destroy their life. It's got to be something else. I'm not saying do nothing, but I'm saying lose the dog, lose your profession, lose your job, lose everything. I just think there's got to be an in-between for some people. You know? So that's me. And I guess we agree to disagree. All right. I'm going to next call. 941. 941, you're live. TBT Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yeah, my name is Nick, and I was looking at the video, and I am getting sick and tired of watching minorities getting killed by these policemen. I really am. I grew up in the projects in New York, and you're right, this has been going on way before Trump, way before Obama, way before Clinton. It's been going on for a long time, but now it's just blatant assassination. And I'm starting to believe it's going to be an eye for eye. If we don't go out there and start doing something about it, these peaceful demonstrations ain't working. We've been demonstrating since the 60s, and nothing's happening. It's gotten worse. I'm getting sick and tired of watching it.
Yeah.
And you got people like saying, oh, you know, listen, I saw, it sounded like it was a white guy say, oh, it was ridiculous what happened to that black man. Ridiculous? That's the word you want to use? Ridiculous? It's not ridiculous. It's an outrage. It's outright murder. And they're not held. There's no consequences for these policemen. You think they got up one morning and said, you know what? I'm going to go fuck up somebody's minority's life today. This is a mentality that's been there for years.
Yep.
For years.
Yep.
And now they're getting a pass.
Yep.
Good. Just like I was a couple years ago. You remember South Carolina when that cop shot that black kid from running away? Shot him in the back because he was running away. And they damn jury came back. An all-white jury came back to the hung jury. A hung jury. It was a court on video. It was caught on video. The cop shooting the man in the back, running away. His back was turned toward him. And a hung jury comes back. This is not going to stop by just peaceful demonstration. And these politicians go into minority neighborhoods and freaking say, oh, don't worry, I'll make your life better. Don't worry, we're going to give you what you need. Don't worry, just elect me, put me in charge, and your life's going to be better. And you know what? We freaking fall for it all the time. We put them in charge and nothing changes.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's what people think.
Nothing changes.
Yep. I know.
We fall for it all the time.
Yep.
I'm just getting tired of it. I'm getting sick and tired of it. I thought the Democrat, tell me this, how does a senator or congressman salary become worth $200 million after 10 years in service? Their net worth is $200 million. How did that happen?
On the take, brother. They on the take. Thank you for the phone call, brother. I appreciate you, man. And that is perfect soliloquy. No, a perfect segue to when we're talking about the sister. She say, why do black people vote for Biden? Biden don't promise shit. They don't believe shit, and Biden ain't promising shit. You understand? That's why they think he's honest. Because he don't talk about doing nothing. And what this guy just say? What did he say? He said people are tired of politicians coming to the hood, telling them they're going to change things. They never do. So the things that we loved about Bernie, me, are things that made them go, whatever. Because people been coming to them, lying to them for decades. Decades to get votes. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not agreeing with it. All I'm saying is this is something that callers have told me over time that they've seen. And it's a reality that people feel that way. I don't want it to be that way. Don't put words in my mouth. I don't want it to be that way. That's not an excuse. I want us to educate people. That's why I got this show. I want to educate people, open their minds, start conversations on important issues, not just talk about rap or dancing or movies or shows. I like all that stuff, but we also need to talk about real stuff sometime. And then talk about the other stuff that makes life more fun. But we got to talk about the real too. So thank you for the call, my friend. I appreciate you. Good points. How does a politician only been there for a couple of years end up making multiple millions of dollars on a Senate salary, on a senator's salary or a congressman's salary? How they get so rich? Good question. I tell you, man. 512, you live. TB Tuesdays, what's your name? What's your comment?
Tim?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is Sophia from Austin. I just wanted to talk about this. It's lynching. It's like, I mean, it really is like a replay of like the 1930s, but it's just like, you know, a modernized version of it. And it's really scary because it's like all of these acts, all of these cops, all of these racists in general, they're testing their boundaries. Each time, it's like they're trying to see just how far they can go before they get in trouble. And they're getting away with a lot. So that only means that, I mean, it's just terrifying to think of how much worse it could get. I mean, when you think about what happened to Ahmaud Arbery, he ended up having gone to that not abandoned, it was under construction. Yeah, that house. He was just drinking water. That's all he did. Was he went to drink water, and they killed him. And it's like something out of a movie. It's not even like real life to see, but you know, I actually had nightmares about this. You know, I mean, Ahmaud Arbery, he ran for 4 minutes. He ran for his life.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know what happened, like, here in Texas, like in Dallas and in Fort Worth, you know, how Boston John was killed just right there in a flash as soon as, you know, that lady opened the door. And then in Fort Worth, she was shot through the window. But the thing is that this is really fast. And they went quickly. They didn't suffer like Ahmaud did. I mean, he was just literally tormented. He got so close to surviving to watch him fight for his life. He almost avoided getting shot. It's just so painful almost to see how far he got before he was killed. And we never knew about this. This comes out when? After how long? To just think how many victims came from before, how many more victims are there? You know, and why did they feel like they had the authority to do that? Why would they think on what planet would they get away with that? Who thinks of that? Unless you know you can get away with it. It's like here in Texas, you've got the Texas Rangers, and this is what really scares me, is they've been covering stuff up for years. And like with and these cops, at least those cops got fired. Over here, these cops still have their jobs. The guy that killed Pamela Turner, I mean, they proved everything with a taser not being able to redeploy itself, and the family had to do their own autopsy, and it showed that, you know, he had no right to shoot her. And that guy, he's still on the force. He's just not out on the street. Still got his job with the force. It's just dumbfounding. And I kind of want to talk about Charlemagne. I like what he's doing right now, but where was he whenever, during the election? He was trashing Bernie. This entire time he was trashing Bernie. The only guy who actually gave a damn, who actually was going to do something about this stuff. Where are you? Praising Klobuchar? Praising Buttigieg and Cop Mala? It's like so many of these talking heads, they pay all this lip service, they get on TV or whatever, but then they just kind of fall off. They don't actually do the most that they can to actually be effective, to actually make a difference, not just get us almost there, but to actually change, to actually make a change, to actually save lives instead of just, making noise after we've already lost them.
Well,
that's
sister,
what I wanted to.
Yeah, I appreciate the phone call. Good points. Yeah, man. Corrupt that, police protect their own. There's one of the cops in the George Floyd video who was just standing there. And it was at points I felt like he wanted to do something, but he was a coward. He's a straight up coward. And cowards shouldn't be cops. He let a man kill another man in front of him and didn't do a damn thing to help. He stood there. In fact, he protected the killer. And I was looking at his body language and his facial expressions, and he was like, at one point he was like, maybe I should do something. But then he was like, nah, maybe I shouldn't do anything. Or maybe he knows what he's doing. Or I don't know. And it's just like, it's horrible to watch over and over and over and over again. 971, you live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. This is Brooke out of Washington.
Brooke.
I hope you're doing okay today.
What's up, Brooke?
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I just listening to everyone talk. Definitely amazed. You know, every time you see this stuff, it's shocking. But I definitely feel like just something that just keeps coming to mind. It's a little cliche, but if you recall from about 8 years ago, like 2012, I want to say, Ice-T had a lyric. He was talking about there's no justice on stolen land. So from the beginning, I'm just thinking how it's been just brutal, violent. It's been horrifying for hundreds and hundreds of years. And the change is going to take a long ass time to come about, I feel. I don't know like what it's going to look like. And I feel like there's just so many interests that are embedded in the current system. They're entrenched in the current system that they have to keep dividing in one form or another, whether it's by color, race, creed, religion. But there's always going to be that argument, those that stole the land and that own it and don't want to give it up versus everyone else. And that land is sort of metaphor for wealth, power. Maybe to a lot of people it might seem like a zero-sum game. We're always going to end up at that argument. So I feel like there's not going to be any justice because of that. And we're seeing it happen time and time again. We're going to see it again and again and again. This Karen video from I guess this weekend was the third one I saw this weekend. 3 separate ones. One, Michael Rappaport, the comedian, shared one, and I think I saw one from Snoop. It's all over the place, right? It's almost like a go-to move for some people to use that to scare people, Yeah. But I don't know. It's just my thoughts on this. I'll take the call after. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Brooke. I appreciate it, man. Man, look, guys, what I don't want is for us to get at each other. These are difficult subject matter, right? I can't avoid it. Like, I could just talk Trump and talk Biden, which I did talk Trump and talk Biden. They fighting over who should wear a mask. They're not fighting over how much money you should get. They're not fighting over who's going to do better to help the small businesses survive this shit. They're arguing publicly about you didn't wear a mask or you wore a mask and you look stupid standing outside with your wife. Do you wear a white mask in the house? Because it was just you two. They kind of glossed that part over a little bit. But the point is, who cares? Like, if they want to, we got bigger stuff. So, I could focus on that. But how am I going to ignore issues that are other issues that are going on? But, man, it's tough because people will get emotional, get pissed off. They got every right to be. You got every right to be upset. It's horrible stuff, man. 3 videos? I know Kira says she woke up this morning and saw that video. First thing, bam! Bam! And this is another point I wanted to talk about. Because I don't think people think about this. Trauma. The trauma of repeatedly seeing people killed. Now, I'm not talking about movies. I'm talking about real life. And the trauma of feeling like that could be you. Now, some people calling up, and I appreciate you calling up, and you feeling this moment. You're in it. You're like, wow, this is horrible. You should be a better country. We should treat people better. There's no reason to treat my brothers and sisters like this. This is wrong. This is But when you are a person who thinks that could be me, there's a certain level of trauma, or my son, or my wife. There's a certain level of trauma that carries with you. And I think it expresses itself in different ways. So we shouldn't overlook that, man. This is tough stuff. I mean, it's tough for anybody. Anybody should be bothered. But when it's like, do you feel hunted? To get that feeling, that you're feeling, that you're being hunted is that adds to a level of stress. And I'm going next call. 509, thank you for holding. You're live, TV Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Tim. This is Pam. I'm a second-time caller. I was listening to you talk about Amy Cooper, and, I appreciate that you, I agree with you that, maybe she shouldn't have lost her job, and, that it could have been a one-time situation. That when I saw that, I saw rage, real out-and-out anger and rage. And, I think she's probably has, problems that are probably, deep set. But the thing that gets me is, she was enraged because this man didn't tell her to put her dog on a leash. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, she realized that she could do real damage to him. Mm-hmm. She could, he was a black man, and she said, I'm calling the police, and I'm going to say that a black man is attacking me. Now, that's got real intent to harm someone.
Yeah,
and, so I don't have a lot of sympathy for her.
Fuck no.
And, I'm betting that she probably has done this before, maybe screamed at her boyfriend or a family member. But that knowledge that she could really harm him, that really makes me mad. And, I'm a white woman, and I know when a woman's enraged, and she was angry. She wasn't scared. Yeah. She wanted to try to hurt him. And, as far as the last killing of an African-American man by the police, I guess I'm just feeling like I don't see how, you can stand this. I mean, I can't imagine thinking, when my son or daughter walks out of the house, in the evening, or that they may not come home because, they might be unjustly killed, It must be horrible. And, I was thinking about Black Lives Matter. In 2016, they had people who were standing up. They were talking to, politicians. I remember, that they had interrupted Hillary Clinton during the speech. And she really got up on her high horse. I think she basically told a woman to shut up, that she talked to him later. And I was just thinking how, Black Lives Matter, that was all about these killings, these, and the Democratic Party. I mean, they were shouting down Black Lives Matter. And I haven't heard a lot about that, but about what they're doing now or anything. But I just think, God, every time the African American community stands up and tries to do something, I mean, they get shouted down by a lot of times by the people who are supposed to be on their side, like the Democratic Party. I mean, God knows what Biden would say if somebody from Black Lives Matter, confronted him. I don't know. I mean, I think I'd probably know. He'd probably say something stupid. But anyway, that's really all I have to say.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. Hey, thank you for the phone call. Wow. Yeah, you cannot feel sorry for somebody like that. Like, I wasn't saying feel sorry for her. It's just like there's no win. That's all I'm saying. It's not a win for her to lose her life, to lose everything. Not her life, but to lose everything. I don't know. Community service, get your life together, understand what you're doing. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know what the perfect solution is to somebody who would do some shit like that. Is she really thinking? I think she was thinking that they were going to hurt him. I think she was thinking that. So I can't feel sorry for her. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm looking at these stories. Let's see what happens with Ahmaud Arbery. That's all. Let's see what happens. They killed this young man. Let's see what happens. 617. You're live. TB Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment? All right, you're live, 617.
Oh, 617.
Yes, sir.
Black.
Hey, how you doing?
Wow. Long time, first time. Been listening to your show, checking you out since about 2016.
Wow.
I remember you giving speeches at the 2016 convention in Cleveland.
Whoa. What's your name, man?
Subscribe. My name is Christopher.
You said Prince?
Yep, CD. People call me CD.
CD, what's up, CD?
And I've been on hold for a minute, so I got to get my head together. Man. I have to get my head together. I have code calls and everything, and I personally, I what you said before about black people not, they worried about rioting. It seems like they're just focused on getting in the streets and just blowing stuff up, or, setting fires and then tossing cars and, Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, they're putting their knees on brothers' heads too and killing them, right? You know what I'm saying? We have healthcare companies who are doing the same thing every day. Where is the protest there, right? Where are brothers out there with their their energy and their anger about those sort of things? Right? I mean, it seems
I can't hear you. You're fading, and you kind of took me out of context, man.
I'm sorry. I just feel like black people seem to have their energy focused in the wrong places. And I understand that the murder in Minneapolis was wrong.
No. You got CD. Look, man. It's media's job to make people educated. How often is media talking about Aetna? How often is media talking about Blue Cross Blue Shield? How often are media talking about insurance company raping us? You want people to be upset about something they don't know about. That's why we do this show.
And the problem is, it's much easier to show a violent video of a man.
No, it's not much easier. It's profitable, and it protects the powerful. It's not easier. Right. So this is why you don't think if people knew these facts, they wouldn't be upset? Why aren't white people out? White people, listen now, CD. See, look, what we're not going to do, CD, is we're not going to divide this and go, what's wrong with black people? We're not going to do that. America incarcerates the more black people than any other country. America also incarcerates more white people than any other country on earth. White people should be in the street too. Why are white people protesting the insurance companies? More white people die because of freaking insurance not getting the operations when they need it. They have to. There's a lot more of them. But no one's talking about it. Most people don't have any idea how bad our healthcare industry is until they get sick. Most people have no idea. Most veterans have no idea how horrible reasons we go to war and how veterans get treated until after they come out and they're a veteran and they see it. Why do you think they commit suicide? If people talked about these issues, it'd be over, Joe. That's the point. That's why independent media matters. But independent media can't avoid talking about these points because they must be addressed. If not, they're out of the consciousness. We got too much Netflix. We got Hulu. We got Roku. We got Showtime, HBO. We got people live streaming dance challenges, singing challenges on Instagram. We got all these distractions, man, to distract them from the real shit. It's on purpose to not let them know what's going on. You don't think people would care about what's happening to old people in those senior living facilities? If they really knew? Man, brother, don't give people credit. There's a machine running to keep people dumbed down and misinformed, brother. Don't just say, why aren't black people doing this and why aren't black people doing that? We all are guilty of not doing everything we should do. Every color, black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American, gay, straight, bi, trans, old, young. So until people become properly informed, you can't say, why aren't they doing more? They don't know. They have no clue how bad it is. So when we reiterate these problems, we bring them out. That's why we doing the work, man. That's why I'm doing this. Because they can't cut on. Rachel Maddow ain't talking about it. They watch Rachel, and Rachel not talking about it. She's still talking about Russia. Russia. Fox News ain't talking about it. They talking about China, and the Democrats. And then you're saying, why don't somebody who works so much ain't got time to watch none of that shit and who don't know who Tim Black is, why come these people ain't doing more? Man, you blaming the wrong people. Go after that media. Go hold them accountable, Johnson, because they intentionally do it for money. Why you think they pay Shaq all that money and Kobe, well, rest in peace, but why you think Steph Curry or LeBron, why you think they get paid all that money, man? Distraction. People get paid, people make money, they happy. All of us. Why all the baseball players, football players, basketball players, everybody. It's a pastime. It's a great thing. No one talks about the CTE, right? The CTE that was killing these players, and most players don't become rich like that. No one really talked about that you know how long that had been going on before people talked about it? And since the game started. You know they had CTE worse before because they didn't even have real helmets, Johnson. So now we finally, after football is 60 years old, 70 years old, now people want to talk about all the head trauma. Hopefully, if we're lucky, man, and if we keep fighting, these problems that we talk about here will become popular knowledge. Everyone's talking about it. That's why when Bernie was running and talking about these issues, it mattered, man. These people give him no credit. If Bernie didn't bring up those issues, they never would be even thought about. Nobody else talking about health care, universal health care, Medicare for all. No one else talking about that. All right. I feel you, but you got to, come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do the, where are the blacks not? Don't do that. Don't do that. 901. You're live. TB Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment? 901.
Hey, how you doing?
Woo. I hope I'm doing better.
Can
How
you
you
hear
doing?
me?
Who's this?
This is Miss Parker, Anya Parker from Memphis, Tennessee.
Miss
I've been
Parker.
on hold for a minute, so I had to get myself back together. But I
problem.
just wanted to, first, I'm a first-time caller in, and I kind of found out about you through YouTube. And, I'm a mother, and I'm a business owner, and I tell you, it really breaks my heart to see these senseless killings of black people, and not just black folks, because we're not the only ones that are dying at the hands of the police. But, like I said, I'm tired of it, and it definitely feels like a public execution. And Donald Trump really has increased racism.
Yeah.
And so for me, I got so upset about the things that I was seeing in my community that I decided to run for office. Instead of complaining about the politicians, become one, and I noticed that a lot of the callers, are upset, but we have to be proactive. We have to be proactive. We want to see some changes, and, we need to get educated on this process, and I don't think us not engaging in the voting process is the answer, because I know someone spoke about that too. But we have to elect the leaders that act like us, that move like us, that have the same concerns, to push our country forward. But that's it. I just wanted to, let you know I'm impressed, and I'm glad to have an opportunity to come on your show. Like I said, I'm running for state representative for District 90 in Memphis, Tennessee. If anyone wants to follow the campaign, I'm a people's candidate, single mother, business owner, and I just want to see some change in my community. And I'm tired of complaining, and I'm just ready to hit the ground and do the work.
All right, well, Mrs. Parker, tell people how to contact you or look you up on Twitter or Facebook or wherever you are.
All right, everybody, it's AP for Tennessee. We also have a webpage that is Anya, ANYA, Parker.com. And thank you, Tim. Keep doing the work, man. It's really making a difference.
Thank you so much, Ms. Parker. I appreciate you calling up, sister. Thank you for the kind words, and good luck on your candidacy. I hope you get it. You sound like a fighter for the people. And we need that. We need that. We need that. We need that. I'm going to keep it going, guys. We got more calls in the queue. 757, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, is this me, 757?
Yes, sir.
Oh, shoot, I finally got through. How you doing, Mr. Tim?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I'm alive, and I'm doing better than the ones that ain't right now. With this corona going around, this whole world is going crazy, my man. I love your show, and I'm thankful for you, man. I know you hit on a lot of subjects. You're probably the rawest, and I'm not trying to sound like a kiss butt or nothing, but I like what you do, man. You're a really good guy, and I just really appreciate you, and I'd love to rap with you for a minute, my man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, brother. What's up?
First and foremost, I know a lot of people have given up hope. I know you're a Bernie supporter. I'm a giant Bernie supporter, and everything is so interrelated right now, and we're so distracted, left, right, and center, every which way we look, man, racially, economically, the whole world is messed up right now, but we really got to worry about our neighbors and our family and our friends and just those close to us. I really feel like if we still pull things together, I know it's a long shot, but people play the lottery every day, otherwise there wouldn't be somebody theoretically winning. But, man, we really got to pull together, and these last few states, New York especially, who just got Bernie back on the ballot, man, we've got to make it happen, man. You got a heck of a voice, and I feel like that will change the whole game. And plus, we've got to stand united. I can tell you I'm blessed to be a success story, and a couple things that have happened in my life from mistakes I made in my past, man, and just, I don't know, man. We've got one life to live. I always say we've got about 30,000 days on this whole planet Earth from day one to the last one, and I'm just thankful for you, man, for real.
Hey, well, look, fam, thank you, man, for calling up, man, and dropping some knowledge and a little inspiration. And you're right, that is possible. Like, you're right. It's not like, I don't know, what's the odds of being born? Like one in 100,000 million or 1 billionth or something. It's some crazy number, man. The odds of you being here, alive, being birthed in America, it's like staggering. I mean, so, nah, man, it's not that crazy. That's possible. That Bernie Sanders campaign could be revitalized, could be restarted, could be relaunched or unsuspended and put back in the game. That could happen. I'd love for that to happen. On I think it's June 4th, I'm doing a live stream with Senator Nina Turner on her Instagram. And, I mean, we always got to keep hope alive for opportunity, possibility. But Dr. Cornel West told me, man, it ain't just about a politician. It's about the movement. As long as I keep my heart and my passion in the movement, then, we'll find people that embody it. But the movement must go on, with, without, through all, thick and thin. That's what I'm about, man. So thank you once again, man, for calling up, and I appreciate the love, man. It's, I don't think you're a kiss up, man. I appreciate you saying nice things because, everybody has rough days, and it's been a rough day. It's been a rough few days. So thank you, sir. I appreciate you. 256, you're live. TB Tuesdays, what's your name? What's your comment? Hey.
Hey, my name is Mason Martin, and I'm from the South, actually Alabama, and it's quite distressing when I see all these things happening to people of color. Now, I'm not a person of color myself, and to give just a wee bit of background on why I'm a little bit more aware of the situations going on, and I care a lot more than folks in my area because people in Alabama are pretty conservative. I'm sure you're well aware, especially white people, but I'm a part of the LGBT community, and I don't want to say that we suffer the same things that, people of color do, but we have a lot of similar experiences, especially down in good old Alabama. Now, obviously things are different for us. We have different struggles, but I think that the struggles I've gone through with other people, my own family even, have kind of made me to where I feel very sympathetic towards people of color and other minorities who are suffering so much. And it's frustrating to me. It's absolutely outrageous that people that were at this point where a cop can literally put a knee on a black man's neck and literally just have his hands in his pockets and act like this is just normal. Like this is just what he does. And it's so fucked up. And it makes me just want to absolutely vomit. And frankly, if I was an anarchist, I would be out in the streets, but I'm not an anarchist. Unfortunately, I can't do a whole lot. I don't know if you can tell, I'm relatively young, but I'm very interested in politics. And to what extent, I want to help people. I want to help people of color. And I just hear all the stories of all different things happening. And it's not just black people. It's Latino people. It's indigenous people. You name it. If they ain't white, they've got some issues, with authorities or whatever. Not that they have a problem in of themselves in obeying or behaving. It's just that there's racism towards them. It doesn't matter. If you aren't white, then you have some sort of social issue. There's something that wasn't talked about that I had heard and I had seen from someone else, from a native, and it was that Donald Trump literally destroyed an entire Native American burial ground for his wall. I mean, that's so fucked up in my mind. I don't, it's just crazy. It's crazy the world we live in where these things can happen, and sometimes the media doesn't even report on it, and it's really fucked up.
All right, brother. Well, look, Mason, I appreciate the phone call, and I'm sure if you are truly concerned, you want to help people in your community, you can do that, man. It's got to be organizations that do good work. I mean, one of the things I know for a fact, brother, is that there are a lot of people doing a lot of good work. I know Reverend Barber from the Poor People's Party, Poor People's Movement, Poor People's Movement. We're going to be working together. I'm going to be promoting a couple of his events because Reverend Barber and his movement, the movement that he's a part of, because it's bigger than him, are doing fantastic work, and they're trying to help all people live a life full of, humanity for all people. And all people need to be fed, and all people need they have certain rights. They should have the ability to eat and live indoors. So, like, things that we can all fight for, that we can all get our hands around, our heads, our hearts and minds around behind, I believe that, there's got to be a lot of organizations like that. So that's what I suggest you do, brother. It's, it's uncomfortable, but we got to deal with what's going on. Thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. 551, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim.
What's up?
My name is Edge. I'm from New Jersey. What's up, man? I've been waiting to get on this line for over an hour. I had something totally planned different from tonight, but saw your Facebook video live show come up. It caught my attention, clicked on, and I listened to that gentleman talk about the cameras, like how we're filming them with the cameras, and like maybe there's something else we got to do. And I was living in Staten Island when Eric Gardner got killed, and I had to commute constantly passing by the site he got killed every damn day. And it just reinforced it and reinforced it all. Started marching with Cornell West and Eric Gardner, march after march. We were laying in traffic. We were shutting down streets. We had helicopters chasing us and shit. It was a massive outpouring. And this year it's happened yet again. It's like, one of the things that struck me was that, like, it's almost a tragedy to call it a tragedy, because it's become so regular that it's beyond a tragedy at this point. It's a sick new norm. And I don't want to stay on for too long, but there's one last thing I want to say. Two last things. First of all, I love the show. I've heard this is the first time I've ever heard you. I heard a lot of profundity today. And it was cool that you kept on bringing up Cornell West. I love Cornell West. Cornell West is one of my heroes. And then last but not least, there's another thing we can do. If we can't get our people in the White House and we can't get our people in the Congress and the Senate, what we can do, and this is for real, what we can do is we can elect the proper district attorneys and the proper sheriffs.
Right.
Okay? And I got to tell you, I am white as a cue ball, man, but there's too many white sheriffs out there. There's not enough people of color working in law enforcement. There's not enough people of color in law and legislation and all that. And that's one thing people can do, like AOC. AOC is a champion. AOC is a bartender who had enough, and now she's in Congress. She made it happen. So if we're going to really embrace this democratic experiment, and really go out there and vote, otherwise we're just sitting around just like outraged and upset, and absolutely rightfully so. But hey, I got to tell you what, if I was living in your district, Mr. Black, and you decided to run for district attorney, you decided for sheriff, man, you'd have my vote like that, dude. This is a hell of a program. Thank you for having me on. I'll take it off air. Thank you very much.
Thank you, family. I appreciate you calling up, man. And just know it's been a journey for me as well, so it's growth, But I agree with you 100% about local politics. That we sometimes look at the shiny object, the presidential, the general election, and then and then the next shiny object, the senators and Congress people. But then there's the others, And those others impact your life so much. So the local sheriffs, your city council, these things matter to how life is in your neighborhood. And so I agree with you 100%, man. People waking up, though. I sense people waking up. I know since I started doing this show, I personally know people who didn't pay attention to politics at all. And now they contact me with stories. They contact me, Tim, did you see this? Tim, did you see that? They weren't doing that 3 years ago or 4 years ago, 5 years ago. They're doing it now. So that's what's happening in the consciousness of the country. It's not where we want it to be, but there are people starting to pay attention, starting to wake up. And I think this pandemic just poured gasoline on the fire, man. People like, what? Build out those corporations and we got to beg you for $1,200? What? Everybody gonna wake up eventually. 872. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Hello? I can't really hear you, 872. I can't hear you at all. Hello? All right, 872. Maybe you already spoke? No, doesn't look that way. 317. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment? 317.
My name's at Skanky Terrorist on Twitter.
What's up, man? What's on your mind, my friend?
I'm just here to speak for the marginally white community, the one where, whether you're white or whether you're black, you can always go deeper down the rabbit hole of racism.
What's marginally? Hold on. What's marginally? What is define marginally white for us dumb folks?
Marginally white means that there's an avenue of racism to where you can get ahead the more racist you are. But this exists in the black community as well. It's something that the more racist you are, the more endeared you are to a racist community. As a white person, I feel that there's always that avenue. There's always I can identify as white. And whether that's because it's simple logic. If you're walking down the street and the group that's approaching you is a different race than you, then they have the same motives to attack you in addition to their race. So racism is a simple calculation. But as a white person who's blue eyes, red hair, clean cut, there's always the ability to be more racist and to appeal to the people in my life who are racist. The same thing goes for people who are black. I work with a lot of people who came from Alabama, black people, and they'll tell you racism in Alabama is not what it is in San Antonio, Texas, or Indianapolis, Indiana, where I live now. But as marginally white, it's somebody who is always listening to the interactions that happen in life, and you always have the ability to be more racist.
Brother, I just can't wrap my head around this term. Is this something you made up, or is this a thing?
No. I mean, it's obvious. It's
no.
An obvious
did you
thing.
make this term
Racism,
up?
Like I said,
or could I look it up? Is it? Did you make up? Listen, brother. Did you make it up, or is this something I could look up?
I mean, you can look it up.
Okay.
People are prone to their own dispositions. I mean, they're prone to find the evidence they look for.
No, I mean, if I look up the term marginally white, your definition is what's going to come up.
Oh, well, no. That's I would say that's wholly me.
Brother.
Marginally white just means that you are aware of your whiteness and then that's it.
What's the margin part? Kinda? You mean kinda white? What the hell? Marginally, look, man. Hey, you know what? You know what, brother? It's okay, man. It's
You
okay.
can only define yourself in white in certain terms. So you don't define yourself as white because, like, it's not a predisposition. It's something that's defined in the relative terms.
What
So,
does this
when
have to
you're only
do
white
with
when it matters.
anything? Real talk,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
What's this
If I-
got
if
to
I
do
come-
with
if I come-
anything,
if I
brother? Like, this don't... You are theoretical. People are dying. People are living in the streets. People lost their jobs, their homes, their schools are shut down for everybody. And people lost their shit back in the 08, 07 recession who never got it back. Lost all the wealth they had accumulated in the generation upon generation. They lost it all, Johnson. And you're up here talking about somebody being marginally white, about some theatrical stuff that you theoretical stuff that you came up with in your bedroom while reading Reddit threads or listening to Joe Rogan. What is this shit? This is not going to, I mean no harm, but I do. Like, come on, man. Come on, brother. I appreciate you calling in, man. Next time, call in about something going on in the world and just have your opinion about it. But this like theory, this ain't the third. I don't know. I understand what you making up terms and then like it's obvious. Marginally, I'm marginally black. It's obvious. It's so obvious. I mean, if you just think logically, what is it? Define it. Well, it's like if someone's walking and talking to you, walking towards you, and you can decide, well, this person, and what the hell? You doing an Amy Klobuchar. You doing the word salad on my ass. Word salad, Joey. You got any croutons? Look, if you're going to give me word salad, you got to have salad dressing. And I don't want no bottled salad dressing. Make me some from scratch salad dressing to go with that word salad. All right, man. 574, you live. What's your name? What's your comment? 574, you are live.
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, you get the greatest guest on here, man. No, I just
No, you still
man, I forgot. I forgot what I was gonna say now. Oh man, let me see. What was I talking about? I ain't gonna hold you up. I was gonna say something. I can't remember. I'm up here cracking up.
Man, it's all good, man. Thank you so much, man. I think you've been in the queue so long, man. I didn't know that you were still in the queue. Let me go back, because a couple people, when I went to them, right, they nobody answered, I think, right? A couple people. I see Mystical Carter in here. Mystical Carter, are you listening, Mystical, or you want to comment?
Huh?
Did you have a comment, Mystical, or were you just chilling tonight?
Nah, I'm good. Oh, yeah. Hold up.
See?
All right. When you mentioned let me turn the volume up.
Thank you.
When you Rex Grossman wrote a book called On Killing, and he wrote one called On Combat. Check out those books. It's about the physiology and psychological effects on killing, murder, war, combat. And I think that'll help you out with your narrative about the trauma of constantly seeing these videos, even though I don't think it makes a difference personally, but something has to trigger in the head, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Yeah, I know that the existence that we have, brother, it leads to psychological issues, like, emotional issues. I mean, how could it not? It's like PTSD.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's the second reason why I mentioned that book, because that was one of the reasons why he wrote it. Now, that's a double-edged sword, because cops read it, is recommended military reading, and, well, he's from the Army, so in the Army it's recommended reading. I don't think it is in the Marines. I didn't hear about it when back then, but also militia groups, that's one of their go-to books. These preppers, that's one of their, you know what I'm saying? So
wow. Okay.
That'll give you a lot of insight to the excuses as well as the effects. Like you know what I'm talking about if you check it out.
Well, I appreciate that, man, Mystical, man, and yeah, you know, I just don't think sometimes I don't think we think deeply enough about how all this stuff impacts us. That's all. And every once in a while, it's like, you know what, we need to kind of recognize that this has an effect on us, all of us, effect on how we interact. So. All right, guys. Tough. Phone lines will be open again on Friday, guys. So Freedom Friday, we'll be back again Friday, once again, to open phone lines, let people call in and speak their truth. You know, tough night, but I want to applaud everybody, man. Even if we disagree, Kara, even if everybody called in, Jimmy Mack, Sophia, Brooke, Pam, Mason, Miss Parker, everybody called up. It's tough. Alvin, my friend. LBC.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
You are brave people. I mean, you're willing to have tough conversations. You're willing to open your head to tough conversations. That ain't easy. I know I'm asking a lot of you because I don't know what people have been talking about today. They probably talked about some other stuff, you know? And you could have easily checked that out, but you didn't. And you may have checked it out, but you checked me out too, so that's all that matters. So I want to thank you for checking this out because I know it's not easy to consume this type of content and not check out because it's tough. We're talking about sad situation, you know? We're not arguing theory of politics. We're talking about real-life issues that impact real-life people and death and racism and bigotry and police corruption or police brutality, corrupt systems. So follow me at Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. Instagram, I'm Tim Black. No, Tim Black at Night on Instagram. That one's different. All right, I'm going to go to my comment section, man, see if anybody left a super chat or if they got a comment I need to read. I know it's a tough night. People are like, oh, God, Tim. But it is what it is. It gets tough sometimes. Jazzy T. Marie joined the Wolfpack, though. Thank you, Jazz. Tia, she joined. Welcome, Tia. Wayne, thank you for joining, Wayne and Tia. Welcome to the Wolfpack. Freddie Maldonado says the poor cop felt his life being threatened. Darky was the threat just by being around. I know that's a joke, brother, but I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a good joke right now. Too soon. I take. This is the soul of America Joe's trying to save. Booyah! Bam! That's what I'm talking about. That platitude language, non-specific, fixed, nothing in particular. You know? Yeah, we need to make America, we need to rise Americans. We need to treat each other better. We need to love one another. We need to come together. Remember, you had decency and respect, honor of each other. And what you gonna do, Joe? Well, we need to all, just check the record, man. Just check the record. First of all, I've been doing this for, the NAACP. No, they didn't. Okay, well, Barack Obama, my President Barack Obama, he, listen, fat. Listen, you want to go outside and do some push-ups? Want to go outside, want to have a go? Want to have a go? Want to go outside, want to have a go? Freddie said, it pains me every time I see something like this. What do you think we can do to stop this shit, my good brother? See, I knew you were trying to make a point. It's similar to the points I make. There goes a black being black, Johnson. Got to get him. True Grace, thank you, True Grace. Thank you, ooh, it's just me. I'm in tears. I can't wait. We are human, damn it. I know, sis. I know. Survivor Mary. I get paid. Want to share the love. Thanks for being you, Tim. Bob said, I was at the protest in Minneapolis today. Wow, Bob. I saw they used some type of chemical tear gas or something on you, right? Viscatronic. He said, I couldn't help but notice the evil look on the cop's face the entire time. He was enjoying what he was doing. We need to get rid of qualified humanity of cops. That will hold them accountable. Thank you, Tim. I know, man. Community over the police, Bob, the Green Party. Toonsy. Thank you, Tim. This is the improvement the politicians gave us since the murder of Aragon 6 years ago. Here goes your improvement. Ta-da! Look how much we've learned. Nothing. Lying Biden, his whole career been nothing but lies, says Art. Joe Biden left his record on the record player. He's so sorry about that. Kate G, New Doughboy. What's up, New Doughboy? That video reminds me of Emmett Till. So sad it does. Vivian, love your show, Tim. You always shine in the light of the truth. Did you see Karen treated that dog? Yeah, I left. You know what? I didn't want to. Good thing I didn't bring that up. I'd be like, you care more about the dog than you care about. I care about the. I love dogs too. But yeah, I saw that. And she gave her dog up too. It says, and I've been downtown Seattle at 2 a.m. in Tacoma in early hours with hooded people going by. We all were minding our own businesses. Papa Joe White is a poor old dude living in Tennessee. I can't wait until black folks get done with this BS. What's good for y'all is good for me. I feel you, brother. Thank you, Papa Joe. 23 Super Dan 32. Welcome to the Tim Black Wolfpack. New member. New Doughboy. Would she have done a white man like that? Probably not, Johnson. Well, you know what? She might have. But she might not have. She may have used different words. She might have been like, someone is sexually... I don't know. I don't want to... You know what? She should not have done that shit. Don't get me wrong, man. I'm not defending her. There's always work at the post office. Well, if you're lucky. I don't even know if there's going to be a post office. We always say, there's always work at the post office. They're trying to get rid of the post office. But she can drive Uber. But, you know, yeah, like, horrible, man. She was playing on racism. You're right. She know what she was doing. You're right. Kamia Shara Kate. Kate, the Central Park Karen has not lost everything. She's still Caucasian. Ooh! Oh! 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 Damn. Spent $12 to tell me she's still white. Man, that's true. That's a good one. That's a good line. I lost everything. You're still white. Look on the bright side. You're still a white, woman. Damn. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Princess Queen. Let's talk about how to... Damn. Okay, Princess Queen says, let's talk about how the check... how the check Flynn tried to use was good, so why were the cops called to begin with? I don't know, man. Oh, damn. For real? For real? Damn. And where were they called to? See, I don't know that full story, Princess. I don't know the full story. I don't know what store. And maybe that's why that guy came outside the store. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hopefully it had nothing to do with it. Cinnamon Complex. I understand what you're saying about Amy, but Kira's right. Just because others didn't get what they deserved, that doesn't mean Amy didn't deserve what she got. I still love you, though. Oh, God. She got fired. What's she supposed to... Y'all... I disagree with y'all. I disagree. Let's go. You know what? Let's let's focus on Ahmaud Arbery. Let's focus on, I don't know, I'm telling you, what she did is wrong. She did. She's a citizen who did something wrong. She's not a cop. She's not a cop, and she's a citizen that did something wrong. But part of the problem is she's using this system that shouldn't exist that's racist as fuck. If the system wasn't so racist and cops did what they were supposed to do, she wouldn't be able to do that. She should not be able to do that. She should be penalized. So should our whole damn system. So the whole system should be penalized. She should not have the ability to do that. Because police shouldn't be racist. And police shouldn't show up like, where the black man at? And shoot and ask questions later. The fact that they do, she should not have that power. There are a lot of, we can have some real conversations about people using the system against brothers. Now, we could have that conversation. I don't know if everybody want to have that conversation. Because a lot of people use the system against brothers. Not just Karens. Okay? Not just Karens. But yeah, nobody feel sorry for her ass, but let's keep it real. I remember countless times, as I stated, where people say, I'm going to get my brothers to beat you up. And it just be because I don't want to date you no more. You find me with somebody else, and now you want to send your boys or something. It's crazy. Anyway, Scholastic, J Electronica's Fruit of the Spirit. Gabriel Reyes, your thought of Jimmy calling? I'm not giving you a thought on that. David Melford, thank you, Tim. I shared on Facebook. Support me in Los Angeles Wolfpack. I'm a Bernie delegate, California, District 27. David Melford, y'all. Dude, man, Tim, you're so wise. Y'all looking so great. Man, people mad, man. People are mad. I get it. GDMP8. What's up, man? Or woman? Person or Johnson? Keep it up, Tim. Broke my back a few years ago. Or it would be more. It's all good, man. It's all good. Thank you. Thank you for helping the show. Ain't nobody perfect. But, yeah, ain't nobody perfect. You know, my thought process on that whole thing is not that foreign to a lot of people who feel like there should be some way to redeem people. A lot of people say that. It's not just Tim Black. You may disagree with it, but we got a pretty toxic society that throws people away for pretty much anything, from Becky calling the cops on the kid. And I don't feel sorry for Becky, but at some point, man, we got to get the big motherfuckers that's killing us. And I understand we don't like her. That's cool. Well, let's do something about Ahmaud Arbery. Let's focus on Ahmaud Arbery, my sister Breonna Taylor. We trying to get this shit done. Yeah, I hate bigots. Hate bigots. I hate them. I can't stand them. Don't like them. Don't pick them. I wouldn't piss on them or put them out if they were on fire. But they're killing us with impunity. That system has been doing that for a long time. I want that system dismantled. And I want people who are paid who get to kill us. They are paid to kill us. And I'm telling you, there have been cops who have killed us who got less than her. And I know we're upset with want to yell. Let's yell about them cops that are killing us who get paid to do it. And they get vacations. I know the guy who killed Eric Garner, Pantanaleo, he got a raise. He got back pay. He got paid. And I was a friend of Erica Garner. At least I considered her a friend, and she told me she considered me one as well. So I've been on this for a long time. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm calloused over. Maybe my wounds are calloused over on racist white people, man, who say stuff on, I mean, I understand it's upsetting, Maybe I'm a little numb to a certain degree on them. Hell, man, somebody called the cops on John Crawford when he was in that Walmart with that gun. Somebody called the cops on a man in a right-to-carry state in a store that sells guns. Called the cops on John Crawford in that store where they sell guns, saying this guy has a gun. That's the country we live in. And they got nothing. And that guy got shot and killed. I'm just saying. All right. It is what it is, brother. I'm gone, Johnson. I'm gone. Robert Abrams said, hey, man, change the system and arrest your file. I don't know. I really don't know, man. I don't know, brother. But calling up saying you disagree with my opinion on a story, I don't know. I guess that's fine. I just don't see the validity. Everybody can have their own opinion about everything. All right, Johnson. I'm gone. I see you Thursday. Peace. This show is brought to you by Tim Black's Wolfpack. Go to patreon.com, Tim Sig Live. This show is streamed live, recorded live, performed live in front of a live internet audience. Johnson.